And good day and welcome back to Triangle Agency Field Orientation, our finale in a 3-part series. I am Eva, she, her, and today I am being your general manager, and I am joined by my 4 incredible agents. And if we can just go around real quick, starting with Anniek.
Hi, my name is Nick. I will be playing Cassandra today, a caregiver, PR wonder who is definitely not anomalous in any way, shape, or form and has absolutely not put the CEO to sleep twice already.
Basil.
Speaking of the CEO, Nicky.
Oh, hello there. I'm Nick, he, they, and I will be playing David Chin, the walking embodiment of the phrase, my boss is a monster, and my CEO eat their employees. Oh, and let's go with Basil.
Buddy, Basil here. They, them.
Oh.
I'll be playing Patience Hollyhock, just sort of a kind of chill, sort of grave digger that cleans up everyone else's messes when Cassandra is not putting the CEO to sleep. Person of many pockets and many tools and many snacks. We'll pass it on over to Mitch.
I'm Mitch, and I'll be playing Dip, the proud only single individual of the disposable intern program of the agency. He is just having fun being out and doing his best to spread the good agency word. To Ava, there you go.
Thank you all. Each in your own way have contributed to this investigation of strange and bizarre childlike behavior. Not childlike, they are children. Strange behavior in children. And it has taken you to a park, to a school, to a hospital, and currently you find yourselves in an alley where you have come across very anomalous behavior, as well as a woman with strong capital O opinions on pigeons. Actually, yes, birds in general. I shouldn't just say pigeons. That might be misleading. It is all birds. You haven't asked about penguins yet, but this is only a 3-part session, so please don't, because her diatribe on penguins could just go on forever. There was a moment where the anomaly reached out to each of you and kind of put you in this space, realizing your immediate fears, exacerbating some stresses that you have inside. You've returned to the present moment to to the alley and Patience's inner. I believe you're still in the middle of the interview. Yeah.
I ended up knocking Crazy Bird Lady and David out at the
That's
same
right.
time because that was too big of a mess to have to clean up.
Yes. Trying to avoid a loose end, and trying to prevent the CEO from perhaps
He
drawing
turned
more
into
attention.
a flesh monster.
It's
Yeah.
In
who
public.
they are.
In
Yeah.
public.
Yes. So, if I could, so we're sort of freeze framed again, with this, experience, I'll say, having returned you to the alley, I guess, David, I'll start with you. You are knocked out for the moment, for I think a minute. We decided? Question mark, Cassandra?
A few minutes, but whatever sounds good to you.
Okay. I couldn't remember I guess I could look it up. Those successes and how long that lasted. But
The main thing is they just think they nodded off. They don't assume it was me. Somehow. In this weird brain space.
David just now being concerned with the sudden onset narcolepsy that seems to have taken over in the middle of this case. Only to him. What is the thought in your mind, David, as because did you banish? You did something right before you were knocked out.
Yeah, I lashed out at the swirling, glowing portal thing. And he mostly did that in rage because of what it subjected him to. Like playing on his primal fear. And so he lashed out in a fit of anger and then presumably blacked out. And I don't think he even understands why. I would just say that he probably assumes that it's hibernation time, but winter is still far away, presumably, and so he's very confused.
Oh no. Oh yes. But also that's so sad. Patience. Your interview subject just collapsed. And further down the alley, so did David. What is going through your mind at the moment?
Probably Patience was thinking at first like, oh no, that person's gonna fall. It's gonna cause more trouble if she hits her head. But then remembers, wait, no, I really should not be touching people and just let them fall like a little sack of potatoes. And then is like, okay, wait, well if you're asleep, and kind of like takes a quick look back, and it's like, oh, our CEO is asleep again. Okay, well, it's business as usual, time to clean up some messes and tidy up around here. So just kind of just like seeing like two people asleep, just kind of shrugs and is just like, it's a Tuesday. Let's get into it.
I do just for the record and for our resident timepiece, it is Monday, but valid. Dip, who I believe is still sitting on the ground of the alleyway staring at your pencil.
Yes, until hearing the commotion, and then obviously David going silent after yelling. The CEO hollering probably grabbed Dip's attention. To which I'm assuming he's now fixated on the conglomerated metal thing that was hovering in the air now. And seeing that, he has jumped to his feet, has not put his shoes back on, and is frantically. You see him, the small memo notebooks that are out there that are real thin. You see him like pulling notebook out of pockets, and he's just mumbling, "Not that one, not that one," and he's just searching, and he's probably gone through about 6 or 7 of these, just trying to find, obviously, something.
Good. Yes. Cassandra.
I mean, situation temporarily resolved. Still slightly worried about Dip. Currently shoeless and throwing notebooks around, but proud of patience for not touching falling crazy bird lady. Probably gonna suggest that Dip helps patients take crazy bird lady out of the alleyway before she wakes up, and then just make up a cover story about being attacked by a crow of magpies. I don't know, pick something. So just blame the bird, she'll believe you. And then I'll stick with the CEO and try to convince him to resume. I'm sorry, words are so hard. A more humanoid human form. Because we gotta go to the hospital. And if a pile of flesh enters the hospital, I think they're going to want to dissect him. That's my suggested course of action. Dip, chop, chop. Go help patients.
Dip is actually going to ignore this.
No!
He is
gets
flipping
the
through
merit, Eva.
Yep.
Yes.
And he found the notebook he's looking for. And he is frantically flipping through the pages, mumbling to himself. Looking at the thing, looking at his book. And he's going to look at anybody that's around, and he's just going to say, is that a satellite? I think it's a satellite. And on the outside of this notebook, if you would look, it just says in really bad handwriting, launch protocols.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, I don't want to know what Dip's been launching at all. No, that's the representation of an anomaly that hopefully is gonna ignore us and go away if we ignore it. That's how it works with like spiders and bees and snakes.
Well, yes,
Right.
except as you're talking, just in this buffer, and Mitch, I'm gonna need you to go into that further. But this ball of metal is going to lash out at Cassandra, who is the closest, dealing 2 harm.
That sounded like a question and not a statement. 2 harm?
Well, it's gonna end up being an initiative roll. Sorry.
Okay.
And Mitch, what is are either of the patients and Cassandra, are you looking at this notebook? Are you
I think I was looking between the notebook and the anomaly to try and figure out why Dip was calling this a satellite.
Yes.
Whether it was one of the Dip's flights of fancy, or whether he actually has some kind of monster manual the agency has been hiding from the rest of us.
and I'm sorry, it is 2 harm and then initiative.
Okay.
But whatever this notebook is gets in before the... If you are indeed using it as a launch pad for an ability or anything like that.
It will be.
Yes, yeah, I figured
So if
that
I'm-
I was like, I shouldn't assume.
I'm assuming that this has now attacked Cassandra in some form. That's why the
Yes.
2 harm.
Yeah.
Dip flips a few more pages, and you hear him go, He's reading. He's like, okay, unwilling satellite participant. Okay, shift. Make sure. Okay, and with that, he drops the notebook, and Dip just raises his hands straight up in the air. And we're gonna do two things here, GM.
Yes. I love.
I'm
two
going
things.
to use. I'm going to use the unleash rule
Yes.
in the book
Yes.
on the secret blue page.
Yes.
So give yourself 7 chaos.
Yes.
I'm going to take all 6 threes
Valid.
on this roll, which is what that allows me to do. And I'm going to use Gyre the Gimbal in my manifold skills. One of those 6s will make it successful.
Mm-hmm.
So gravity within a basically 15-yard radius around me will now shift
Yes.
90 degrees. I will use 3 of those 3s to not shift my fellow agent members.
All right. Smart. Good. Yes.
I will use 1 of those to change a single target's gravity another 90 degrees, making it 180 degrees straight up. And the last one I will use is to make the range infinite for a single target. And I will literally launch this pile of trash through the atmosphere into space for an infinite distance while I slide directly into the wall to my left.
Thank you for skipping me.
That's very good. I like that.
And all you'll hear is Dip hit the wall with oh, forgot that part of it.
Yes, perfect. Love this. The other 3 of you, so you just see Cassandra, this ball of metal would have just kind of spun around like a soccer ball and launched itself at you. And then kind of bounced back to reconsider like its next move. And as Dip is talking, as he said, gravity shifts and this ball just ping out into the universe. Possibly to take out an actual satellite at some point. Who could say?
We'll blame the
I want to
Chinese.
note
Space
I want
is
to
missing.
note that Patience did not see any of this because Patience was not looking. They were facing the other way. They had gotten out their retractable shovel and holding onto the spade edge were slowly pushing the lady down the alleyway trying to get her out of the way. Because we
Yes.
established earlier that Patience has a retractable shovel.
We did. We did.
So that's what they were doing, and then they kind of hear like a as it kind of just goes off and it's just like, huh. And just shrugs, and it's still kind of because Patience hears so many weird sounds cleaning up stuff in the agency, and they know that like the way to continue living is mostly to ignore a lot of sounds. So it's just like, unless I hear
You're not
like
wrong.
my name or like a specific request for help, Patience is like, well, I know what I gotta do. Cleaning up the mess. It just kind of just has like the handle like in her shirt, just kind of just.
The gravity field takes the whole alley, right, Mitch?
It would be 15 yards out, so 45 feet from each direction of them. So everything, I guess, would have shifted to the
Yeah.
to the left, besides my 3 teammates, which I was assuming they were outside, kind of in the entranceway on the interview. I'm not 100% sure.
That's true.
I have
Yeah.
to be in range of David, who was yelling at the anomaly.
Cassandra was in range, but I do think last time Patience was closer to where the traffic was because they had directed the lady to go down over there because I was saying, let's go look at that pigeon and then we'll see if that bird is real. And then we started talking about podcasts.
I do remember you were at the edge. So I either you have shoveled this poor woman far enough into the alley that you're in the field, or you're close enough to the edge that people are starting to wonder what on earth you were doing with a collapsible shovel, and a body in an alley. So either people are stopping to say, is everything okay here? Or the body is starting to 90 degrees what way? She's not going to infinity. Against the wall? No.
Be to the left, and only the target was infinitely.
Yeah.
Everything else, anything besides my three companions,
Yeah.
is shifting, my visual direction. However you want to say, pick a left. I'd have been,
I don't know
I would have
why
been
I
facing
said
David.
left.
So,
that doesn't make any sense.
well, because I said left to begin with,
yeah,
but
okay.
we'll say south by southwest.
Perfect. Tammy, I believe I said the bird lady's name was. I apologize if I didn't. That is the name I have here, though. I'll leave it to you, Patience, as to which is more interesting, because I feel like both of them could be interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to honestly think like how much like actual distance you could get pushing someone with like the handle edge of a shovel. I'd probably say I'd say maybe like Patience had gotten into position to start pushing, and then since I don't think they were fully out of the alleyway, I do think that Pammy, the bird lady, was like probably affected and started moving. And I feel like at that, Patience maybe just kind of just turned the shovel around and used the flat edge to just kind of squish her closer to the wall. Like, oh, okay, this is happening. Well, this is a lot easier than when I usually have to use this thing.
As
It
you
just kind of
give a really good, like, little shove. I'm calling her Pammy now because I love that even better. Is just going to sort of ragdoll in the wrong direction, right? Like, she should just roll forward a little bit, but she's just gonna flop into the sphere of weird gravity and just floop against the wall. Probably not that far away. You don't see blood. It's probably fine.
Patience just kind of looks at the flopping and is just like, yeah, all right, that's good enough.
So the three of you, two of you see gravity being weird for no particular reason after Dip has, called to the satellite gods. The metal ball is gone, and nothing anomalous is particularly happening, aside from your CEO just, what was you have extra weird eyes at the moment, don't you still? Because of the, not infrared, but the anomaly tracking.
My glowing orange fisheye eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because they're still good for an hour, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps there's the fisheye is just tracked on the minor anomaly that just went into space. I don't know.
Am I awake?
I believe Cassandra could wake you up. Otherwise, it's you're not out for very long.
I'd be happy to wake David up if he can, like, pull themselves, if they can pull themselves together before Bird Lady wakes up, just look human. Normal human, nothing extra.
It's only a few minutes, so yeah.
Yeah. I think by the time David wakes up, they're just like quivering a bit.
No, David.
A few of the eyes turn towards you.
Stop quivering, slobbering, shaking, being goo. Drop the extra eyes. Just human. We need to go back to the hospital.
As you're talking,
back to human.
there is
Thank you.
Tour group that walks by and stops at the head of the alley. Not the bird interview end of the alley, but the other end of the alley, like where you all head. So I guess closer to Cassandra and David.
Those are normal ends of alleys. There's always a bird interview end of an alley.
Oh, and I take a demerit for
Yes.
something someone else asked me to do.
Yes. Thank you. You can hear like there's pictures, flashes. You know how people take flash photography even though it's like midday, it's like 4 p.m. now, but like
like in the middle of a concert even though the stage is miles away.
Yeah. And you hear the tour guide, like very nice, almost like a flight attendant outfit, like just that fake retro sort of outfit with like the little tag and a pointer. And if you look down this alley, this is the site of the 1968 haunting of the alley. Ooh. And she's going to gesture with her pointer and just kind of wrinkle her nose up at your group. And of course, some people don't know the local legend of the murder of the alley. Half the group looks bored, but they are all looking down at the alley. And Pammy, is still sort of clumped up in the corner of the wall somewhere.
Worst LARP ever.
But
So what were you at the LARP this weekend? I was the murder victim. I did nothing at all.
sounds like the dream, to be honest. Invite me to your LARPs. I'll just lay there and look dead.
Bring beer. Good shade.
Yeah. Can I die in the shade? Perfect. You do hear one, like, early 20s something guy who had just been reading a book at the back of the tour group go, "Wait, a LARP? What are you guys playing? Aw, is it City Underworld? Hey, you got room for one more?" "Mom, no, it's cool. I'll catch up with you later."
Oh no. No, we're LARPing the
He's coming into the alley
1968
now.
Haunting of the Alley. So just stay with the group and make sure you get the story before you try to join your local chapter.
Are you rolling for this? For convincing? Isn't that a thing that you do?
I'm trying to give him a great excuse, so I will roll for this. It's a version of nice day, isn't it? So I'll be nice. I'll be side of the betting, which is definitely a verb.
Nice day for a murder LARP, isn't it?
So I want him to think that our LARP is super boring compared to all the LARPs he's been to, and his mom's right, it's kind of lame, and he should be going with them and not stick around with us.
I do want you to recognize that as you say it is a LARP of the Murder of the Alley from 1968, his face sort of falls a little bit conflicted. Like, this is still gonna need a roll. His mom's eyes light up.
Look, I put down one lady today, I can put down another lady today.
What'd you get?
Those guys are absolutely everywhere. Hang on, I need to find one. I will spend a quality assurance to get a third 3, because this isn't great.
Okay. So not a transcendence, but
Not
otherwise...
a transcendence, but I'll burn a duplicity. Yeah, to actually get 3 3s. That was a lot of one. Enjoy your chaos.
Oh, I'm using it.
Now.
Oh, you are. He only has 2.5 hours left to use all of it.
Just dump all at the same time.
Wait. Except I have to do math.
Oh no!
You just gave
Sorry,
me
I
3 threes,
didn't.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good. You're fine. Everything's fine.
Pick it.
And
Yeah, I want him to think everything we're doing is just boring, and even his book and the tour put together are more interesting, and he just needs to plot on.
patience. I do have a follow-up question for you, Cassandra, but patience. Again, this is a lot of cameras. Not necessarily focused on the group specifically, but you are in some of these pictures, so I believe you know what to do.
Noted. Yep.
Anniek, I cannot find it to save my life. I'm finding literally all the other ones. With 3 threes, what does...
I may speak a sentence to layer underneath the thought, a goal or general belief. They strongly believe what you said. That's why I needed the third 3.
Yeah.
To really make him buy this.
His mom's really excited and turns to the tour leader and says, "Do you do this often? Do you think I could get in on this maybe next week? I have an opening. I used to do theater back in high school. It was a little while ago, but I still got it." And the son just sort of takes like 3 steps back the other direction. And the tour guide just sort of shakes her head. She frankly seems more annoyed that there's even people in the alley. Nobody told me about this, but you all do what you want to do. We've got the mystery of the sewer grate just 2 blocks away, so take your pictures and let's keep walking. And we're walking. Anniek, that was a pretty good excuse. However, I need you all to know that there is going to be murder LARPs in that alley from now on. Not a lot.
I'm down with that. And it's like Cassandra might go on a weekend.
A new hunting ground for David.
Exactly. I thought you wanted to go for the sewer grate 2 blocks down.
Expanding.
Fun.
Patience is making a note in their phone. It's this long list of places I can never go back to. And this alleyway has just been added. And they kind of pull up the collar of their duster cloak. And they're kind of like, I mean, great. really like that bakery, but sure, whatever. Just kind of saves it, moves on.
Dip, you are also getting commendation for pretty much almost literally bringing something screaming to a halt.
Well, Dip is like putting his shoes and socks on the best he can as he's still staring straight up. And his mummy's like, okay, is that 4 out of 7 now? Or 4 out of 9? I gotta remember that.
I will actually say, now that the gravity is weird, so you all are deciding to head back to the hospital, right?
Yeah, because of what Tammy said.
Pammy.
Tammy. Bird brain. Because of what Bird brain said. Because we saw an ambulance star, and there was a creepy nurse with screaming mouth in the nurse's uniform of the hospital we were. So we want to go snoop around about Annie.
And I will say that now that gravity is weird, and so the ivy is sticking like straight out towards the opposite wall. You can see one more drawing, and it's chalk drawing, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a hospital bed, and this is simplistic art, right? Like, it is advanced stick figures essentially, but it is it's a sick person in a bed, basically, with long hair, and then a much smaller figure next to the bed, who is also very sad. Yes.
Oh, a picture's coming together, I think. All right, David's gonna finally pull himself out and stand up, adjusting his clothes, which you all now discover is actually generated from his own body, because he is now inside his spotless, immaculate tux and office suit wear. It's like, winter is still very far off, right? Because I feel like I am taking way too many micro hibernation naps when I should not. Perhaps I should arrange for a agency doctor to check up on me at some point.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
You can find the agency doctors in the vault. No problem.
Well, that's ominous.
I'm sure the agency is here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. So, we should now head back to the hospital. Based on that painting, who we're looking for is a little girl whose mom, or is there any like notable physical appearance to the stick figures, like any blonde hair? Or
really wish I could have found my crayons so that I could give you like an accurate depiction of what this mural looked like. But it is very much just like a circle, and then it has like the curled
classic
ends to the hair. Yeah, like 1950s, like whatever the opposite of a beehive is.
A bouffant?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, with the like curled, like the fembots from.
Yeah, I think that's a bouffant.
Yes.
Perfect. Let's pretend
I don't know
just
why I
said
know
that
it.
originally. No, I'm very pleased. That was very good.
All right, so we're looking for a mom with a sad child, which admittedly could be any number of people at the hospital, but it is a start. To the hospital, grab the rickshaw, Dip.
Well, I just realized, and it wouldn't have been until now since Dip has got his shoes on, but Dip is sitting on the wall because, as you said, the
That's
gravity
true.
is still.
Yes.
So all of you are standing upright, but everything else there is shifted where the wall is now
Wait.
what we would consider the ground.
David's
So
off
Dip
on-
is frantically flipping through pages, and he stands up for a brief moment on the wall
Sideways, yep.
and is like, "Oh," and he claps his hands again. God, please don't give me a 3 because that would be even. Oh shit! I'm gonna spend a point because I literally got no 3s. I'm gonna spend 1
Aw.
point to make it successful
Okay.
to shift the gravity in this area back to the direction it's supposed to be.
Okay, I will take my 5 chaos.
Oh boy.
Ooh. I'm glad I had those points because the failure on that is really bad loose end. Basically, Dip would be 0G for the rest of the game.
It would be amazing.
Just tie a
because we
rope
had
to you
little
like a balloon.
string.
But everybody who would see me would be a loose end from that point on.
Oh yeah.
I just print a retraction.
I will say, if you want, as much as I would love to just take your points, it's any other role. So if you would like to do a redo,
Okay. Because I actually had a different idea than if we were leaving the alleyway.
yes. So again, like, we're all learning this game. It is brand new.
Yep. Good
but-
call. I didn't read it as that. So
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, on David's cue, Dim's literally going to say, "I know a shortcut."
I thought you might want to. So I'm
Hey,
gonna
there we go.
change
There's
my
one.
chaos back to 20.
Well, you get 2, so go ahead and get that because I got 4 3s here, which works out perfectly because with I know a shortcut means that I can create a path to where we are going that cuts down our travel time. We will instantly appear where we want to be, and I can use each 3 to bring another person, so I have enough to bring us all to said hospital
Perfect.
with a quick whoosh, and we're there.
As much as I would have loved for that to have been a failure.
Or just one person goes.
Just one person. Yeah, unexpectedly, you are all at the hospital significantly faster than you would have thought. And Dip is now standing the correct way up. And I'm guessing, so probably you're in front of the hospital unless you have a specific place that you would like to go.
Yeah, to put us right at the entrance to the where Dip was doing his shuffle earlier in the day.
And now there's no one around who was there at 3 o'clock. You do see a different group of teens at like a far end of the parking lot doing the chalk outline TikTok challenge. They have acquired some chalk and are...
I'm just so proud of them. And us.
They are filming, but they are filming away, like facing away from the hospital.
Patience is going to poke Dip with one of their watches and turn to them and say, "Hey, you need to warn someone before you do that. I don't appreciate you doing that, okay? It really messes up my time clocks." And you sort of see Patience pull out several watches that are now completely not going the right direction, freaking out a little. Some of them have stopped, and Patience kind of wags a finger at Dip and is like, "This is why I don't like interns. You just do things, unprecedented things. The flow of time is the flow of time." Next. and then starts fiddling to fix all the watches. Like, Patience is like, it's like, yeah, cool, we got to the hospital, but like, we had plenty of time to get to the hospital. Now there's time out of sorts. And so Patience is a little annoyed at Dip, not angry, but just like, now I have to fix everything and recalibrate myself.
Dip reaches
So it's
in
kind of
Dip reaches in his back pocket and pulls out another little notebook. Then on the top it says "Do not do." And he flips a few pages and he scribbles down notes. And he folds back up. Okay. Won't
I
do it
thought
again.
it was super helpful, Dip.
Dip pulls out another book. It says
can
things
do
to
it,
do.
Yeah, just give people a heads up. Not literally, and that's a side eye to David. A metaphorical, verbal, hey, I'm going to do this thing kind of heads up. Not David, you, and putting heads on things.
As
Can't use metaphors around him. It's just...
excuse me, as you're talking amongst yourselves, David, there is a someone leaving the hospital. They're kind of being rolled in the wheelchair to the curb where they check the phone and then kind of lean up to the nurse behind them and say, well, my ride should be here in just a minute, but I'm fine. Like, you don't need to wait with me. I'm good. And you can see their forearm is wrapped in a bandage. David, you know there's just the scent of blood.
Oh boy. I see where this is
Fresh
going.
blood. Yeah. You don't see it, but like, you know it's there. And so I have spent some chaos, as I've done to a couple of you at this point, but as a game mechanic rule, I'm going to explain it at this point. I'm spending 3 chaos to have one of your needs that humans may understand but could never share come bubbling to the surface. If you ignore the urge, the willpower spent forcing it to go away results in your next roll suffering from burnout. If you are observed by humans, so not your fellow agents, but anyone else, while satisfying this craving, at a loose end.
Just a question, what does burnout do again?
Burnout is 3... I want to be sure I say this right, so I'm flipping back to the...
It's something like you have no more quality assurance or something like that, right?
Yeah, you have 0 quality assurances in a given quality, and it subtracts 1/3 from any roll made related to that quality.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it does stack. But it does not cancel Transcendence.
sorry. Do we see any signs of David like being hungry, or is this all just like internal? I'm wondering, like, do we see him like start to like drool and like the mouth flaps kind of quiver?
I'll just say that as I spot this, we are slowing. David is basically so. All right, so here's the plan. We're gonna go in, look through the awards, and then you see him just trail off as he looks and stares, and just continues looking and I would say, yeah, I feel you can see like the black lines along his face, like the seams of his face flaps just sort of like begins to move a little. And if anyone's paying attention, they'll see like along his hands, small little mouths with sharp teeth and tongue is like opening and closing a bit. Like, it's like he's barely controlling himself.
Patience is gonna try to help by pulling out that sourdough that they bought earlier, unwrapping it, and kind of just holding out a piece and just being like, and it's like, hey, you seem a little peckish. Maybe this will, good sourdough always kind of, perks me up. Maybe some here, and just kind of.
David pushes the sourdough away, and he's gonna start walking towards the injured person. Is anyone doing anything? Oh.
Patience is now going to throw the rest of the sourdough after quickly tying it back up at the back of David's head and be like, "Don't refuse the sourdough! How dare you!"
The patient is on his phone, kind of showing a map to the attendant who is not paying any attention, just kind of fanning herself in the late afternoon, early evening heat of the day. Sorry, Anniek, for that specific description. And anyone
fine.
who saw me add chaos back, it's because we're in one of the domains of the anomaly, and I forgot that I can just do that for free.
No.
So, yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, I am bad at math.
'Cause I'm-
Thank you for asking.
So am I. No. I was wondering, I'm looking at the timepiece power, and I was wondering whether I could use... We're all just using powers on David at this point. I was wondering...
Look, they know what they do, okay? David's got it coming at this point.
I was wondering... I was wondering if I could use Remember When on David, but intentionally fail it so that David gets temporarily lost in memories. But since David's not a person, he wouldn't become a loose end. But
Oh, that's a way to game the system.
That is
yeah,
tricky.
I'm not trying to metagame. I'm just curious.
Well, I love it though, and I would, as your general manager, I say, very smart. And I would say that would also count as cleaning up a mess. I will, however, say that it is up to Nicky to allow that being done.
Honestly,
to
like,
David.
yeah, my thing was I was gonna say that I'm gonna like walk towards this person, and then the person's like, "Can I help you?" And just lurk there for a bit, and then I'm just gonna tank the burnout and like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what," and then he just walks away. But this is better. and I also don't get burned out, so it's a win-win situation. Yes, I'll tank it. I'll take it.
I was gonna say I love the like subversive teamwork. Like,
Take it like a monster.
So
Yeah.
I think then Patience is probably gonna try to like kind of speed walk in front of David and kind of get in front without touching and just be like, "Hey, boss, you remember that time though we had that really great picnic and there was just so much to eat. It was delicious. Everyone enjoyed themselves. It definitely wasn't a pain for me to clean up all those bones later from the barbecue." But you remember that, bud? You remember? Maybe just think on it a bit.
Was Dip the barbecue? Oh, that's so
Dip version 1. I would like, because the failure does involve the target getting lost in the memory for a while. And I won't say it takes a whole very long amount of time. But if I could have a narration of David's memory of the barbecue and what within TOS, what kind of pulls them out of wanting to go after this dude in the wheelchair, just waiting for his ride, and then Patience, Cassandra, and Dip. I'd say you have a few minutes outside the I almost said hospital. If there's anything you want to do out there, I'd say it probably takes about 5 minutes for David to kind of cycle through whatever memory this is.
I'll say the memory of the picnic. I think rather than it being more like realistic, I'll say that it is sort of like a glorified memory, you know, with that filter, pink smoke filter along the edge of the screen is mine, of the picnic with everyone else having exaggeratedly cheerful look in their face while David is like just shoving various limbs into his various mouths all over and just savoring all of the taste. And then after a while, David is just like, you see like his pupils are like dilated for now. It just sort of like slowly goes back to normal, and he goes, "Yeah, that was a pretty nice picnic. We should do that more often."
Yeah.
And then he zones out as part of the thing. He can be led along, I guess, but he's just zoned out.
That would make sense. Is there anything else anyone would like to do outside? And yeah, I would say that you could guide David inside if you're so inclined.
Take him by the elbow. I little sidebar with patience is I can't believe I'm saying this, other kind of rational member of our team. To me. How are we going to get these patient records?
Before Patience answers Cassandra, they're just going to send a quick text, an apology text to their fiance saying that they have misplaced the sourdough. They're just going to say that a bird swooped down and took it. It was very strange because they said they're going to like that they wanted a nibble, and then something just kind of swooped down and took the rest, and they're very sorry, but they'll pick some up before they come home from work. They will try again.
Patience, you, I don't know if you were waiting for a reply, but as soon as you send it, before you can even, like, put the phone away, you see the, like, 3 little dots pop up, that you're getting a reply. And you get a text back that just says, "If you're going to lie to me, at least make it a good one. You know birds aren't real."
They're real in my heart, babe. They're real in my heart.
And I will say you've never heard anti-bird reality sentiments come from your partner before. But yes. Meanwhile, Cassandra, it's been a minute. Have you checked your phone lately?
It auto alerts.
Does it?
Yes. Of course it does. Maxine's with the sitter. She's in great hands.
Okay.
I thought we had actually canonically established that Cassandra does have auto alerts set up.
Yes.
No, I think the general manager is hinting that they're disabled and I should be checking.
My question would be,
Like Five Nights at Freddy's.
I was going to say, if Patient's gonna pull out a phone while Dip is babysitting David, I might as well quickly check 1 or 2 or 4 of the Ring cameras.
Yeah, I guess my question would be, would you only check when there are alerts? But that seemed out of character, from my understanding.
Honestly, even in real life, I even check to see if my dogs are sleeping adorably, so, as soon as Patient starts texting, I'd be looking at, like, the nanny cam to see if Maxine is, like, what time is it?
Going on 5 at this point.
Right, so she should be, like, getting cleaned up for dinner, maybe help out in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And by help out, I mean be adorable, give emotional support. At 10 months, there's not much they can actively do in the kitchen.
No, but it's still cute to watch them try.
Exactly. Emotional support for the nanny.
Yeah, weird that you've somehow missed 5 calls and a slew of texts. And there's no one on the cams. The front door is closed, though.
Yeah, still. What's in the slew of texts?
Did you come get her? She's not here. Tell me you have her. You have to leave me a note if you take her.
Yeah,
hey,
no,
I'm really stressed.
Look, she's air tagged. Checking the air tags.
She's here.
You can air tag everything, Eva. That includes.
No, you're
things you
not
care
wrong.
for.
I just think it's funny.
If my mother had the option to air tag me when I was little, I'd have 5. I was a runner.
That does not surprise me. Yeah, weirdly, you see the tag in the hospital. Not that far away from you, actually. Possibly in the waiting room. Or the reception, the front area. Pre-waiting.
Okay, well, clearly, my little, adorable, perfect prodigy knew that mommy's having a bad day and is coming to help mommy. I'm just gonna sort of like half wave to patience while she's lying about sourdough, and I'm just gonna go head in.
And in fairness, if you, like some of the voicemails, one of the voicemails does say like, hey, I'm gonna check the hospitals, I'm gonna make sure she's okay. So you don't have any messages saying that anything happened to her, but
Yeah, and also complete denial that something could have happened to her that would have led her to be in a hospital. No, she's here to help mommy.
yeah.
She's a very good girl. She's gonna go inside while patience lies about sourdough. You know, that seems important.
Yeah. Dip. David's just standing there. Eyes seems kind of content and happy. But otherwise, you two are fine.
Yeah. He looks the happiest he's been, while inside his head is just a bloodbath.
Yeah. I don't want to speak for David and say he's drooling, but if I were to sketch the scene, that's what's in my mind.
Nah. He's sweating a bit, and it is the drool because he has many mouths all over his body. So it just looks like he's sweating.
Nice. Dip is just kind of watching between everybody as he's put his notebooks away from taking his notes earlier. Just watching Cassandra walk off. Patience is on the phone. He's kind of just staring at David. Like just blank stare.
As you put your notebooks away, they don't have anything on the front of them anymore. Like the labels are gone.
No. Panic. Pure panic. Dip is now flipping through the pages of them all.
They still have
And,
their
like,
stuff in them.
Yeah, he's trying to remember then, like, no. Wait. This one. And so he's like trying to now reestablish. But as you see, he's literally pulling them out of almost his shirt pocket, his pants pocket. So he's holding like a dozen of these little notebooks, trying to flip through one, trying to figure out what it is and scribble the name on top, and put it back in the right corresponding pocket right now. And he is now completely oblivious to anybody else as he keeps muttering about, there's no protocol. Where's the protocol? And then you see him pull another notebook out and start writing, not on the cover, but new protocol for when all the protocols are removed of protocol titles. So, yeah, he's now in a bureaucratic standstill of his own.
The worst red tape is the red tape of our own making.
Yep.
A small family, I think, tries to like work their way between Dip and David, just like, okay, like, don't block the entryway. This is a hospital, not a train station.
Dip frantically goes to another notebook that has been roughly scattered, do not do, over again, and is writing down, do not block entryway.
Okay, so, Cassandra's heading inside. Patience is also?
Yeah, Patience has wrapped up the text and has just been like, I don't know what to tell you. The bread's gone. I'll pick up some more. Love you. Bye. And just kind of puts the phone away, like, all right, to business. And then it kind of looks up and sees that Dip is doing Dip stuff, but David is still kind of standing there and sees the family trying to get by, and it's just like, okay. It's just like, hey, Dip, hey, come on, buddy, why don't you grab David and we'll head inside. It's time to go in. Looks like Cassandra already headed in, so we should get on that. You got this, man. And we'll start going through the door and after Cassandra.
I did, just for record-keeping purposes, I'd said it before, I did just officially give you that commendation for earlier, for throwing the bread at David. Or, I'm sorry, distracting him from their condition. Dip, are you listening to Patience?
Dip half-heartedly is at this point in time because there's no protocol in his brain now because all the protocols are he doesn't know what to look for. So he's kind of like partially, I guess, nudging David along with the shoulder while still trying to read the books. Probably to the extent of guiding David just into the door while Dip walks full on into it. Once again, dropping all of the books that he was just now trying to reorganize.
Yeah.
In which he will then frantically pick everything up and that haphazardly like, oh, excuse me, door, and like walk in, still kind of like not really fully putting effort into getting David where we need to go or even knowing where we're going. He's just kind of in a direction of the voice while that nudge of like, you know, come on, what'd you do to your buddy when you're at a concert somewhere, you're trying to get him to go through somewhere. Come on, go. Move.
The shuffle. I hate that shuffle. Okay, you all make it into the hospital. Are you just heading in? Where are you heading? What is your...
I'm following the air tag. I don't care what those three are doing at this point.
Ugh.
Maxine. Look, at least she's not like in the pediatrics ward or the ICU or the morgue, okay? Reception is not the worst option here. She's fine.
You do see the air tag on the move. It, as you enter...
Good, she's moving.
Like the air tag's moving.
Yes, which means she's fine. Okay. Look, the Nile is not just a river in Egypt.
As the second set of sliding doors opens to let you into the reception area, the air tag and what you think you catch maybe just a glimpse of hair going around a corner. You see, I thought I had... What is the babysitter's name?
I don't think we ever named her.
Okay, good. Great.
Check. No, yeah.
This woman that you have entrusted your miniature life to, who is nameless, which shows really how much you care about Maxine, I guess. You see her,
She's from a very reputable agency, okay? And not our agency, a different reputable agency.
You see her hustle around from, what looks suspiciously like the bathrooms, around the corner after Maxine. Or the air tag.
Okay.
However
Yeah.
you want to split those hairs.
Yeah, hustling along.
Patience, you get a... Well, is your phone on silent?
Patient's phone is always on vibrate, much like my phone.
Mood.
So it's tucked into their front like pants pocket so that they can feel it. I don't get people who put their phones in the back pocket. Maybe it's because I just have a ginormous butt, but I never feel it go off.
As someone with a flat
You and
ass,
me.
you can totally feel it if there's
and me.
nothing there.
You get the like vibration of just one, so it's not ringing, just like a text vibration and just the one. David, you probably have... Well, Dip was messing with the... You're starting to come out of it. I wouldn't say your reflexes are necessarily the sharpest for the next, like, minute, maybe, but you're around. You're doing stuff.
All right. I think David's gonna pull out like a handkerchief and start wiping his sweat saliva, I guess.
The worst phrase in the history of the world is sweat saliva, apparently.
Sweat saliva. Okay, I'll move on from that. He's like, and he's gonna look around and it's like, yes, we're at the hospital already. Where's the ward where they hold mothers?
I know why you're asking that, but I still hear it in the tone of like, hey, where's the cereal aisle?
Yeah.
This is fine. You get a look from the receptionist, which is slightly not quite alarmed but confused, and they're trying to keep an eye on Cassandra, who's just booking it past them, I assume.
Correct.
And it's not like it's a security checkpoint. Like, there are people coming and going all the time, but the focus is notable. The maternity ward, or
Where sick mothers are. The chalk drawing was not pregnant, right?
correct.
Okay.
It was just a yeah.
Yes, I will pull up my agency badge. This is of utmost importance. Bring me to the ward where you keep the mothers that are not pregnant.
The so this is really a strange question. I hope you realize we don't classify if they're sick. They're just in the how sick are they? Do they need to be in
with a child?
Bedridden?
A child that is out of the belly, not pregnant.
Okay. So probably just a person who is a mother who is sick for unrelated reasons?
Yes. I need to
Just
speak with
desperately
them
looking
immediately.
around to see if Patience or Dip is, like, with this person who is asking reasonable questions in the least reasonable way possible.
Yeah, I feel like Patience was gonna like slide their phone out to look and see what that text was, but then seeing David do all this, it just kind of sidle up and be like, "Sorry, don't mind him. You know how some people really don't handle hospitals well, the stress, bad memories.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
Yeah.
When he gets stressed out, the words don't exactly come out the way they should. We're just trying to visit a friend. You probably saw our other friend go the other way. She's a mom too. we're just trying to show support. I'm not a mom. Kids are great, but
Yeah, it can
so
be
we're just,
stressful.
when you're in the hospital, but like your kid's fine. It's, you stress out. We're just trying to bring a little cheer. They were kind of insistent, no presents though. So we thought maybe just us being there, taking their mind off things. Where would those people be? Like a
She's
general
been
ward?
focused on you because you are saying normal, reasonable things. But when you say that you're bringing cheer and like not presents and stuff, she's just gonna look back at David like, you're kidding, right? And then back at you. Well, it takes all kinds, right? Yes,
He has a great sense of humor. It's not showing right now, but around people
Okay.
he's comfortable with,
I don't need to take that kind of time, really. And for the record, the text you got, if you it was just like the circle with the slash through it, and then the like dove emoji. I don't think there's a pigeon emoji, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of people in this hospital. So unless you've got some more information, a lot of them are probably parents, and especially without a name or anything, I can't just give you a room, But if you know the person and the room number, I mean, you can go on through. That's...
Yeah, let me just, and so Patience is gonna like pat down their pockets and kind of look around, and then just be like, oh darn, it's snaps. It's like, oh, our other friend had the information, let me just go. We'll go get her, and we'll come back. I don't want to block up your window. It's just, take up your time.
Thank you. You get it. I can tell.
Yeah, come on, David. We gotta go find Cassandra. She had the the notebook with all the things and the stuff that we need. And just kind of like, come on, without touching, but like, motioning, like kind of, and like quickly, like, because if I remember correctly from when I volunteered at a hospital, when you're at the reception area, it's like everything's blocked from the waist down. So you kind of see patients make an agency hand signal that says like new plan, find Cassandra, basically. And just say that's what Patience is going to do. It's up to David whether David decides on his own whether he's going to go that way, but that's what Patience is doing now. It's like, sorry to bother you, ma'am. We'll just let me just go find my friend, and Patience is going to go after Cassandra.
David will follow after giving a very corporate smile to the receptionist. It just goes off.
It's at about
Patience
that
kind
time.
Patience kind of shouts, come on, Dip. Come on, bud.
I was gonna say, it's about that time that Dip, like, you just hear this heavy sigh of relief. Like, he's pat down, he's put all the notebooks in the right pockets. He just kind of looks around and goes,
order.
He kind of looks around. Oh, we're back here? And then he sees everybody going the other direction, and he just kind of looks over at the reception person, who obviously looks as puzzled as him. And then hurriedly walks along behind everybody else to join up.
Cassandra.
Eva.
What percentage of your attention would you say is on the phone versus looking ahead of you?
Well, it has to be 50-50 because I have to map what I see on the phone to reality to keep track of this air tag.
It's true. There's very much a they're long halls, but they also split off into other narrower halls that rejoin bigger halls. It is, I believe I said, I wrote this down. I think I said 4 floors high. So ground floor, 3 stories on top of it. Yes? Yes.
Yes.
Cultural differences. And
I
it
had
is...
no intention of jumping out of a window.
No, that is my specialty. It is also a pretty wide footprint. It is not perfectly square, like there's a courtyard and then there's kind of an overall U shape, I guess, but it's also wide. So you would have entered from like the bottom of the U, and then it hooks out on either side.
Look, I said nothing when you said I have an opening. You cannot be talking about entering through the bottom of the U and...
Everything is just a test.
Alright, I will try to do better.
The air tag seems to be getting a little further away. And of course, like, you've got the hospital on your phone, but it doesn't give you, like, the map of all the different hallways, right?
No, that's fair.
And it's...
Further away, like, Maxine's 10 months. How is she hustling?
That is a good question. You turn a corner and you're kind of running out of... You've gone from the reception area, which was moderately crowded. Not over full, but also not empty, you know, like... There's seating, but it's not... Yeah, it's fine. And then you've gone into some of the more populated corridor. You know, there's a nurse's station. There's a couple doctors talking over a chart, you know, down the hall. And you take a left, and there's maybe one nurse kind of putting a clipboard into a door. And you take a right, and the hallway is empty for the moment. And seems to go on a very long way. Well, it's almost empty. You do see a familiar sight crumpled in the middle of the hall. It is your nanny.
And by crumpled, are we talking dead or alive?
I don't know. Check.
Okay. Check
What,
her
you
pulse.
think she's just gonna wear a little sign that says, "I'm fine, I'm just taking a nap"?
Honestly, if I was allowed to by, you know, general law and had a complete disregard for privacy, yes, her watch would be attached to my phone. She would have a little sports watch provided by me that would track her heart rate to make sure that she's good when she's watching Maxine. But apparently, we can't
she's
do
crumpled
that.
in such a way you cannot see the face of the watch. And then the question is, do you approach the nanny or do you check your phone for the relevant health data that you shouldn't have?
Honestly, if those are my options, I will be checking my phone because I've been around enough fucked up things to know I don't want to touch something lying in a hallway.
That's fair.
Last time I touched something, I was sucked into a chalk drawing that melted the universe.
To be fair, I don't think you touched anything to get sucked into a chalk drawing.
I don't think Cassandra had enough time to reflect on cause and effect.
I mean, that's fair. It is just a flat line. I'm gonna be honest, I have... Yeah, we'll say it's just a flat line. I don't know how sports watches work with the recently deceased, but there's no...
Alright, well, yeah. If she's flatline, there's also no point in, like...
It says, it has that alert that's like, please seek immediate medical attention or reset your watch. No signs detected or whatever.
Great. Perfect. Love this for us. I'm in a hospital. There was a nurse's... Do they have normal hospitals? At least normal. No, that's not true.
I'm sorry.
Hospitals around me have panic buttons around that you slap when you need help at a certain location. Can I slap the panic button and keep looking for Maxine?
Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, I can't resuscitate someone. I don't have the skills. I'm just gonna call for help. Keep going.
What
And
do the rest of you
make a
do
note that I have to hire a new nanny.
when confronted with the body of... I assume you're still following Cassandra? Trying to track her down for...
Reasons.
Yeah, so we established that the nanny is dead, right?
I don't know if Cassandra would have passed that on, but outwardly she's not moving or breathing.
I hit one of those code buttons for like a crash card and stuff. They might be able to fix her. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
So that kind of affects what Patience is gonna do. I think probably Patience would like go over to the person and kind of crouch down and put their hand like in front of their face to see if they're breathing. I think that's one of the steps you're supposed to do when you do first. I just took a first aid course. And so does Patience feel
good.
Just touch her and see if you get a demerit.
That was my original plan, but I was like, let's try to do this sensibly. So does Patience feel anything putting their hand in front of this person's face?
No. Depending on how close you're getting, like, I mean, she's still warm, so like,
yeah.
I
just mean like, is any breath hitting?
No.
Okay. Well, at that, I feel like Patience would stand back up quickly and be like, because Patience has no idea who this is. This is just a dead body, or
yeah.
of
Cassandra
someone.
has explained nothing.
Yeah, so it's just like,
I don't think Cassandra's aware she's being followed.
No, that tracks.
So Patience would just turn to David and Dip and be like, we need to focus on the mission. I don't think this is mission relevant. Near as I can tell, this is a dead body. I'm sure the hospital is equipped to deal with whoever this is, and
you can hear like running or hustling, whatever the general hospital procedure is for dealing with one of these alarms. And you hear wheels probably from a stretcher.
Okay, because that was going to be my next question. Yeah, and hearing that, Patience would just make the hand signal for like, hurry up, double time, we need to go. And just start moving faster down the hallway, assuming that that's still the direction that Cassandra is going. And I will be right back. Somebody rang my doorbell. Hopefully a prank, but I don't think my sibling heard it.
We're going to go on break in like 2 seconds, so you're go ahead and check that.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
And we are going to go on break, but right before we do, I just want to say that as soon as Cassandra turns the next corner, the AirTag blips on the phone and fades away from the phone. And in the middle of the hall, you see Maxine turn to look back at you, and you hear a little kiddo cry of recognition, and just the big eyes and that kind of when you've been gone for a while or like you're playing peekaboo, that sort of thing, when it's like the delight of seeing you again. And then she turns to Chalk and bleeds into the floor until there's nothing left but a little bit of dust. And that's where we're going to go to break. And we'll be back. It's a very good card, Mitch. So hydrate, pet your pets, stretch. I was like, there's one more. And we will be back in 5 to 10-ish. Probably closer to 10, but we'll see. See you soon. Bye.
See you soon.
Hi, hello, and welcome back. I hope you did your stretches. I hope you hydrated. I have actual water now. Yes, good. I hope you petted your pets, especially on my behalf, because I love them all very much. As opposed to my earlier caffeinated, oh, you can't even see it, bean water. Mitch, yes, thank you. Apparently, if I pick it up, I'm obligated to drink it, so that's good to know. Great. Creature of habit. When we left off, I don't know, stuff happened. Cassandra,
You killed my baby.
I mean,
That's not true. A manifestation of my baby was turned to chalk by the anomaly.
your nanny's still dead, but yes. The manifestation of your baby.
The help is dead. I mean, sure, I'll feel that later. Priorities.
Theoretically, people are coming around the corner to, this is like 2 corners back for you, Cassandra, but, people are coming to deal with this random dead body in the middle of the hallway that you have left for them and drawn attention to, which I'm sure won't come back later. And I believe Patience, Dip, and David are coming up behind you in their way. I believe everyone was following Cassandra.
I think Cassandra at this point would have stopped and just sort of be both relieved but also angry that she got tricked again by the stupid anomaly. More chalk. More chalk.
I think, timing-wise, assuming you all come around the corner, or whoever's like, you see the, like, wisp of chalk as it kind of, like, settles to the floor. And for the moment, you are all alone in the hallway.
I just realized, because we used Dip's shortcut to get here, right? Does that mean that my eyes are still up?
Yes.
No, he went back to a human in the alleyway before we left.
They last for an hour.
Yeah. So I still have a couple of weird eyes around with the
For like
googly eyes still taped.
For a couple minutes, and because you are kind of coming up on that at the end of that hour. But
I forgot my own superpower. Yes, I will use it to look for a trail.
Know how helpful it is, because it's lit up. Like,
oh god.
Like, the alley was very well traveled, let's say. This is, say the alley was like someone had their own office at work and like had their pictures up and like made themselves at home, you know, like it has their personal touch. This is more like someone's home. So yes, if there's something, so like the brightest light would be the chalk on the floor, being the most recent. Trying to find are you looking for anything or at anything specifically?
I'm gonna look for like a bright, because presumably based on the chalk, right? This kid is probably the anomaly, so this kid would have probably been by their mom's side this whole time. So I'm gonna look for a room where there is like a bright spot that hints at someone being there for a very long time.
I will say at the end, maybe second door from the last, at the end of the hall on the left, the door is brighter.
All right. There, everyone, go! And I'm gonna start running in that direction.
And I think this is about when it like starts to fade a little bit, and it actually, you have maybe a minute of everything that was so bright and overwhelming dims enough so you can see, like, the chalk is well highlighted and then everything else is dim, and then the door, but then there's also like lingering effects over like little notes and drawings kids have done for doctors and nurses. You know, like there's a little bulletin board and it's just like patients or kids of patients or whomever, their own kids, who knows, just like a little board of stuff kids did, and it lingers there. There's a, you know, that's highlighted a little bit. One is a little brighter than the others, and it is a very rough crayon drawing of what looks like you would recognize the school that you and Dip visited earlier, with the same two figures from the chalk drawing in the alley in front of it, except the woman is not in a hospital bed, she's just standing, and they're both smiling in that. And the hospital door is closed at the moment. Room door.
Yeah, I'll run through. I'll gesture to everyone. It's here. It has to be. Prepare yourself. Dip, you have the suitcase.
Dip is busy writing in a notebook that says dog equals chalk. Dogs not real. Dogs equal birds. And is then like, oh, yeah. Picks up the briefcase and like
Dog.
Isn't that what? Oh, what was the? You said fur. What do we have with Maxine?
Did I? I said chalk. I said the.
Yeah, but you said fur earlier when you said we saw a hint of fur through the door. Oh, okay.
I don't think anyone saw anything except for Cassandra, and it was golden hair. But
I thought you said golden fur. Honestly, I apologize.
I thought you said
was like,
golden pearls.
oh, that. You know what?
I
Character
think I
bleed
said
here.
curls.
Dip and I are sharing brain.
That's fair. Either way, the three of you came
It's
around
not Dip's
and
turn with the brain cell.
didn't see anybody. You just
Okay,
saw
we
the
just saw
like
the-
collapse
okay.
of the chalk. So,
And then
I
scratch all of that.
mean,
Dip
I
is
still
carrying the
love the
briefcase.
idea of just random words equaling other random words. Big fan, but I was like, I gotta be
I
sure
would just
that like.
get. Look, now that children aren't. Chalk isn't real? Chalk equals birds?
Chalk. See, there you go.
Chalk
Dip is
equals-
kind of like oddly sidestepping around Cassandra and then walking towards David, still confused on the dead body we just ran past and now a pile of chalk.
I mean,
but
that's all valid.
Following the CEO's orders.
Always a solid choice. Except for when David is your CEO.
Hey, I didn't make up the structure.
No.
I just work here.
Dip's correct.
Yeah.
There is a little twinge in the back of Dip's mind, hoping that he did grab the right briefcase when we left.
It's a good
Since
question.
for a moment, the two of them were side by side and identical.
Oh no, that would be the ultimate twist. It's okay. I still got the blaster, the ripple gun.
You do. Which I'm very proud to say still has its single charge. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait
Can
for everyone
patients
to.
pick up some of the chalk that's on the ground?
Without any
This is how we
judgment,
found out
I
it's
will
living.
say you can. It does start to fade. Because I think I said eventually it does like just melt into the floor. So you would probably have time to like dab it up and look at it, but it's still gonna like.
Yeah,
crumble
patients
and
is gonna do
slide
like
away.
that kind of weird outdoors person thing in movies where they kind of pick up the chalk and they're like,
I knew it.
yeah, that's chalk. Weird.
Is it chalk?
Yeah.
Is it? No, wait, this has to be something. This...
What kind of
You
flavor
licked it.
notes does patience get?
I mean, you licked an anomaly. That's so flavor notes. Yes, good. It tastes
Literal flavor notes.
It tastes like poorly made orange jello and butterscotch and a hint of like a sharp tang, kind of like a hospital smells, but it's not like an overpowering taste of an astringent or anything. It's just like a sharp cut through the like softer sweet tastes. And there is a little bit of chalky flavor or texture, I guess. And instead of melting into the floor or melting kind of off and dissipating off of your finger, what you have swallowed I need a second to find your where's your thing? I think it is going to... I am going a little off book on this one. But also, you licked it, right? Like, come on, you licked it. I think it might... Let's say it triggers a remember when moment. So why don't you roll me remember when?
All right, let's see. That is, empathy, the skill that I still have no points in. So let me.
Good.
This will be
Excellent.
fun. So let me roll a 2. There's the 4 ahead. Okay, that's not a 1. And let me roll the rest on here. First roll. Okay, I got 2 3s and 3 1s and a 4. Yeah, so I got 2 3s in total.
Okay. I think so. On a success, which you get every third 3. Okay, yeah. All past events, even recent ones, feel wistfully far away. The target is desperate to talk about their past and easily led towards subjects you're interested in, even secret or classified ones. So I think this sparks some sort of like you feel yourself your own anomaly, right? I mean, you're not an anomaly, but you have bonded with one.
Excuse me.
No one saw that. It's fine.
It was still alive when I grabbed it with the... Okay.
Oh no.
I'll be right back. I'm going to dispose of the carcass.
Yes. That's such a David thing.
Talk about character bleed.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I just thought they fell out of the chair. So that was very, very surprising for me.
I don't think people on Twitch know, but before they freak out about mentioning Nick dealing with a carcass, we're talking about a cockroach that was on their wall.
Ah, good. Yes.
Because the mention of the cockroach was in our Zoom chat and not in the Twitch chat. So before people are thinking he's like out here murdering kittens, cockroach.
Or nurses or whatever. That's fine.
I'm talking Nick, not David.
Yes. Success.
All right, I'm back.
So there is a like a vibration, a connection between your resonance, your anomalous power, and the anomaly. And it's like a little tug of war. You are kind of on the receiving end of your own power, but also you're kind of a witness in a way that you've never been before to someone else going through this recollection of past events. And David, you at the door can probably hear a little kid crying. Not sobbing, just the tired has already cried too much, but still has more to go. And in between big gulps for air, you can hear a little girl just saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Just, you have to feel better, okay? I'll never do it again. You just, please feel better. It's gonna be okay. And Patience, I don't know how close to the door you are. I don't know if you can hear that, but you feel and have a kind of a competing vision. It's sort of a third person, first person swirl. And the vision is little kid's shoes kind of doing this step on a crack, avoiding, the quasi hopscotch jump to avoid stepping on cracks. And then there's a pause, and then a very deliberate, willful double jump onto a crack in the pavement. And it's swept away in the sound of sirens, and a flash of the alleyway. That seems to be where this crack situation was. And then the emergency room at this hospital, and now this room that you are, I don't know how close you are, but that David at least is in front of. And then you feel a very protective buffer kind of come between you and the memories, and then you're back to your present, and
Yeah, I think Patience is going to stand back up and just be like, huh. Well, that was weird. All right, let's do this, I guess. And it's just going to go to the door. It's just not going to share. It's be like, huh, well, all right, question asked and answered, suppose. Cool. Kind of wish I had some bread to wash that down with. That's all right.
The not birds are currently enjoying the heck out of it in the hospital entry sidewalk area.
Oh, the poor janitorial staff.
Yeah, it's rough. So you now also could probably hear the child crying. Cassandra and Dip.
I was very busy texting something on my phone, which I have actually sent her a DM.
Ah.
And now that you have seen it, and I'm assuming you're not going to veto it, also post it in our chat. I want to use my initial requisition of the printing press release to help deal with what is somewhat of a loose end in the shape of the corpse of my nanny left behind in a hospital. So there is an outgoing press release, which simply says, body of nanny found on hospital floor, inquiry launched. A local hospital is launching an investigation as to why an excellent agency TM nanny coming to the hospital in distress did not receive any assistance. Minutes before being found dead in the hallway by her concerned employer who came looking for her, the nanny had entered the hospital looking harried as seen on CCTV, yet received no aid from any of the nurses. The hospital refused further comment.
I have granted you a commendation for ensuring they will never speak again.
Thank you. I was in Canva making the newspaper clipping, so I will also post that in chat.
I think I've centered that a little bit better. Well, close enough.
There we go.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's what my fingers are doing as I'm walking to follow them. But having seen Maxine turn back into chalk, Cassandra would have immediately gone back into like her PR. I need to contain this.
Perfect.
Mindset.
And Dip.
Dip was already heading to the door.
Perfect.
So he's probably now between David and Patience.
That's
because he had stepped that way as Patience was taste testing the anomaly.
Are you all letting David go in first? David, are you even waiting? Are you just going inside?
Actually, David, he was about to do his usual gung-ho thing, but when he hears the child cry, it triggers a almost primordial, almost empathy within him, and he sort of like holds back, and he'll turn to his team and go, I'm not equipped to deal with this. One of you will have to take the lead here, and I will take that demerit. if that counts as one.
I don't think it does, because no one told you not to. I would almost argue you are making a sacrifice of your pride, which would be a commendation.
Oh, let's go!
That's what we call growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll let someone else take the lead for this one.
Yeah.
Patience will go in. We'll open the door and be like, "Well, all right. Well, if you're sure, boss, I'll take a. Let's see what's behind door number 1." And kind of open it and just be like, "Hello."
You find a hospital room. Hopefully not surprisingly. It is a 3-person room, although 2 of the beds are empty at the moment. There is one by the window that has we'll say not awake woman. She's alive, like you can see the machines and stuff, but striking resemblance to the chalk drawing. And in a chair, curled up, holding presumably her mother's hand, is a young girl, maybe 7, tear-streaked face, looks up when you enter, but doesn't well, I guess there will be a little hiccup and a who are you?
Don't mind us, sweetie. We're just here to strip the sheets on the other bed. We're part of the cleaning crew. It's some of us are new, so it's a buddy system sort of thing. Are you all right? Maybe I have some tissues in here. Hold on. No, that's a watch. Okay, you can't dry your tears. No, hold on. No, that's okay. Wait. Hold on. I know here we go. And
I was gonna say, if you want the agency to help you provide whatever you need, you could roll for a magic trick of a tissue to present.
I haven't done that, so why don't we? It's like I'm sure it's in one of these pockets. Just I've got a lot of things in here. What do I roll for that? Do I just roll all the d4s?
All of them? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we get. This will be fun. All right, no help there. Let's see what we get here. All right, 2 3s.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I will take those chaos, but yeah, with a flourish there is a very nice with a little agency triangle in the corner, a TA monogram. Yeah, and if you're offering it to I
Yeah, just
don't think I
just
need
handing
to
it
tell
to
you
the kid.
it is Annie. I mean, we're at that point in the stage that I don't think it's a spoiler to say you can just call her Annie. That was 2 successes, so that's 4 for me. Big hesitation, but then just reach out and take it. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry at all. You can keep that too. We have plenty.
I'm not supposed to really take things from strangers. Patience.
That's smart.
You would actually recognize all of you would probably recognize this girl from in front of the hospital, the video. And Patience, you would recognize her from the park memory the other day, in the group with Forrest. At one point I had said there was a overlap in people, and this would be that overlapped person. But I guess if you work here, that's, I don't know, maybe that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that, hun, or you just cry into your shirt. And speaking from personal experience,
It's
clothes
real
aren't exactly the
gross.
most Yeah, they're not the most absorbent things. Are you doing all right? We can ask the lady with the juice cart to come by and get you a juice.
She's just gonna
Yeah?
nod.
Okay. Well, once we get these sheets out of here, we'll let her know, and she'll come by, and you can pick which one you want. They have grape and apple and orange.
She loses
Sometimes.
it. My mom used to make me apple juice, and just wailing.
I think at that Patience is gonna flounder and kind of look back at like everyone else and just be like, I don't know what to do anymore. This was the extent of my sort of child soothing videos I watched on YouTube.
Just real quick, as she starts wailing, there's like a little spike in the the heart rate monitor on the bed. The woman doesn't move, but there's a and the door clicks closed behind you.
Uh-oh.
Am I the only one in this room?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
who. Time to solo the boss.
Dip would have walked in behind Patience.
Yeah.
I'd have joined, but yeah, I'm good with Maxine, but not with other people's children.
I think David would be outside as well, just at the door. So the door will probably slam right in front of his face.
Are you opening it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try what the... Does it open?
No, the handle is hot. You could request agency assistance, to,
Just fishing
either
for chaos.
cool it off, or, I mean, maybe. To cool it off, or if there's another option you want to take.
I think I'll request agency assistance to make this door not here anymore. Or no, but make the door not be locked. Let's not change reality too much.
Okay. Fine. If you want to wisely think it through, that's fine. Go ahead and roll your 64s.
Okay, let's go. Oh, okay, thank God. 1-3. I was so scared.
It clicks open. It clicks open. It doesn't swing wide for you, but you are able to push it open if you like.
Yeah, I'll push it open. What's going on?
Enter the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Settle down. Don't
It
start eating people.
closes behind you again. And I will take my chaos.
Yep.
I think Patience kind of realizing that with the team that they have, that there probably actually isn't anyone really more equipped, thinking about like, well, what would David do? Oh no. What would no? Okay. And
I'm at best I'm your backup for when we need it there, but in general I'm only good with Mexi.
Yeah, so I think Patience is gonna try again and be like, oh no, it's okay. It'll be all right. Everything will be all right in time. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that, time does help with these things. It soothes, it cradles you. Listen, why don't we play a little game? Games are always fun, and it's good to engage the mind and think about fun stuff like what's your favorite animal? Mine's a unicorn. What's your favorite?
She's sniffling and looking at you, but also kind of like taking in a lot of you. Dip, you oh my god. Okay, this is good. No. Nothing at the moment. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I feel like you should probably be worried about it at this point.
And okay, good, excellent. She's gonna sniffle, and unicorns are pretty good. I like Pegasus because they can fly.
Oh, that's a really good choice. Oh, flying animals are super cool. I wish I could fly. You ever think about that?
Though, yes, my favorite though would be like those unicorn whales that could fly.
Oh, a unicorn whale? I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, they live up where it's cold, and then but if they had wings, they could also fly. So they could swim under the ice, and then they could come up, and then they could just fly over the mountains, which would be pretty great.
At this point, Dip tries to get Cassandra's eye, and he's pulled a notebook out and he's faced it. And on the notebook, it says launch protocol.
Your notebook's missing.
Damn it. Just that one or all of them?
That one.
Oh. Well, so much for that idea.
Well, at the risk
While-
of
while
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, while Patience is talking to the kid, because you said, Eva, in your wonderful descriptions of this world we're playing in, that Mom's heart rate spiked before the door closed.
Yes. I did say that.
Okay, great. So
And I don't
Cassandra
regret it
hasn't
yet.
seen. Yeah, no, Cassandra hasn't seen any of those fancy visions her teammates are having, so she doesn't know shit. So can Cassandra find like the chart to see what happened?
What chart? Like a...
Mom's chart at the foot of the bed with her medical stuff and what she was brought in with. And
Oh,
she actually
oh.
broke her back.
Yeah.
But Cassandra doesn't know shit. She's just on a data gathering information at this point.
Yes.
Quick note, all of that and vitals are on the wall on a chalkboard or on a dry erase board these days.
That's true. The
Depends
like
on how
little
fancy your hospital is.
the little folder,
Dry erase board.
you go to reach for it, and a small shape, smaller than Annie, darts in front of you, swipes it, and scampers off, up onto a cupboard on the other side of the room. Kind of in the shadows.
Okay.
Patience is just gonna quickly go and say, was that a unicorn whale? At like the weird shadow thing, just trying to somewhat still pay attention to the child, but actually, I'm sorry. Did Patience see any of that, or was that just Cassandra? Can we all see that shadow thing?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
we had
and
to see the chart move.
It would have probably crossed either in front of you or near you at some point in its like travel to get the chart and then back. Annie wasn't really looking in that direction and wouldn't have really, like, she's focused on you. So I'll give it to you if you still want to ask or not, but she didn't really see it.
Okay, well, in that case, no, I wasn't exactly sure where it was crossing, and probably Patience would notice that and be like,
And I will say this is a meters and feet. 2 meters, 6 feet and change high, cupboard. It's like where you would store like extra supplies and stuff. Or maybe personal items from... You haven't opened it yet. Anything could be in there.
I mean, if it's up high, it's a good thing we have a monster who can grow long appendages. David.
2 meters is like 6 feet, right? Because like high is sort of a...
Yes.
Cassandra isn't a tall woman.
Yeah. Wait, where is it?
And I will not be climbing on step stools while there's things flitting around. Most accidents happen.
I'm gonna turn to Cassandra and go, make sure the kid doesn't look this way. And then I'm gonna go. And then I'm going to use my limbs ability.
I'm gonna block the view of Annie best I can and nudge Patience and Dip to help me sort of go.
Yeah, I'm gonna gain reach and control beyond typical, and I'm gonna reach for this thing that grabbed the chart with my
No, I want the chart, not the thing.
Yes, I want the thing as well. Two birds, one stone.
Fine, as long as we both get what we want.
Have to roll for that. And Cassandra, how are you just like doing a weird like? How are you distracting? I will
Hey, hey.
say there are, just in the spirit of fairness, there are
Isn't
they're
there, like,
all
hospital
pulled
curtains and
back.
shit?
Yes, there are hospital
Yes.
curtains. There's 2 sets.
So
3
while
sets, I
Patience
guess.
talks about unicorn whales, I want to start pulling some of those curtains
All right,
in the
I'm
right
gonna.
direction.
Okay. All right, I
Yeah,
rolled.
Patience is trying to teach Annie some tongue twisters, and not doing well. Patience is not good at tongue twisters, so Patience keeps trying to do the seashells by the seashore, but it's just shells in the seashore, you know, shells, seashells, Cecil.
You get like the closest thing to a laugh. Like Annie's absolutely focused on you, and like she's still like holding her mom's hand and stuff, but like she's with you on this journey of terrible tongue twisters. And she'll like try and correct you, and then like stumble over it herself and just like almost laugh, and then like get serious, and then kind of do like a little, giggle. David.
Okay, I rolled 1 3, but I'm gonna use 1 free quality assurance to get another 3 so that I can both disarm the target and engage with it. So one hand just extends out, like all fleshy like and grabby.
So,
I'll reach out and yeah.
So if you're looking on top of this cupboard, as you do this, you actually see 2 shapes. So I'm gonna just clarify that before you make your final decision on what you want to use that second 3 for. You see, kind of pressed against the wall in the shadows, 2 raccoons dressed in very cartoon-esque nurse outfits, like the little white cap with the red cross on it, and not scrubs, not any of that. Like one has the little watch that like old-time nurses, actually I don't, maybe they still do, but like from the 50s used to wear, and they are noiselessly kind of chittering, talking to each other. One has Dip's notebook and the other has the chart, and they're kind of like discussing what they have acquired.
So we got Who Framed Roger Rabbits in the house. I'm gonna in that case, instead of disarming, I'm gonna use that extra 3 to my arm basically splits down the middle into 2 separate arms, and then reach out and grab both the cartoon raccoon nurses and then pull them down.
I love it. They both squeak audibly this time, and kind of do a little scrabble against your arm. Yeah, ineffective, but and I guess it'd be Dip and Cassandra, because Patience, you're distracting. And at the squeak, Annie's definitely gonna like kind of try and look around you, but the curtain is there. What was that?
No worries, just animal control.
I thought you were changing sheets.
We are changing the sheets, honey. He just likes to make
Are
jokes.
there animals in the
it's
sheets?
Just no. The wheels on
Are
these
there
on these
bears?
beds. The wheels on the beds, honey, are just a little old, and they squeak sometimes when you have to get the sheets off, because it's we really tuck them in there to make sure that things are all nice and cozy. But hey, I've got a new one for you. Not a tongue twister. Did you ever learn how to do peas porridge hot? That's one of my favorites.
No.
Yeah. So looking at Mitch's face, and he's like, "What is that?" I was like, "Yeah, peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old." and I don't know, as kids, you would just sing it as fast as possible. It usually lures in a bunch of kids to sing it. So I think it's the repetitive noises.
I'm just adding the chaos that the arm roll. That was 1 success, right?
2 because I spent a quality assurance.
Oh, that's right. That's good. That's.
But it'll still generate 5 chaos either way.
So that's 12. 12. You feel like.
Yeah. So what do they feel like?
Yeah, when your arm splits, like, you know, like, the agency has told you, like, be cool, right? Because you can create chaos, like, you know, try not to use your powers, this, that, and the other thing. Like, they generally dissuade you from doing anything cool. You got a little vibe that maybe there was a little more chaos that time around. Like, something, the pot stirred a little extra. Yeah.
David will frown a bit and like, agency problem, and he's gonna focus on holds the raccoon in front of Cassandra and Dip. Like, what do we make of this? What?
Okay, I'm gonna step 1, take a chart, and then focus on the fact that it's a raccoon.
Oh, your notebook, Dip.
I'm picturing David with like extra limbs and shit, sort of the Lion Kinging these raccoons to us.
Yeah, just one hand
like
split into 2, grabbing them.
And everyone's just raccoons.
I am going to refer to them as Cassandra's raccoon and Dip's raccoon just to make things easier. So David, you are retrieving Dip's notebook yourself, and then you're just holding out Cassandra's raccoon with the chart towards her?
Yeah, it splits about just like, here you go, and here you go. Just your raccoon, Cassandra, has given up trying to like use one paw to like shove out of this arm and is now holding the chart with both little paws, and indignantly squeaks at you.
Man, these beds are loud.
David. It's can I just do that? It bites at you. So you can try and avoid it, or you can take 1 harm.
Yeah, I'll tank it because I don't want them to get away.
Okay. So you're just taking the harm?
Yeah, I'm just taking like, no.
Yeah. So now you just have this raccoon biting your tentacle arm. And it is, I guess it has like what it's not gonna be hard to pull a chart from a little nurse raccoon.
I mean, I'll trade it. I'll trade the chart. I'll probably have like goldfish crackers on me. So I'm willing to trade for some crackers and make it stop squeaking at least.
Okay, that works.
Maxine loves snacks.
Yeah, no, that appeases the raccoon greatly. Your raccoon greatly. And I feel like I should have been maybe calling these out more. And I haven't been. I did spend like maybe you've actually seen the chaos like
I've seen the chaos fluctuate on the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
I know you've been busy.
I did create 3 minor anomalies in this room.
2 of them raccoons.
You have 2 of them. They are thieving minor anomalies, which are
I love them.
my favorite. At least the
Other
two you
kinds
have
of
identified
codes.
are identified. Patients, Annie, reaches, under the covers, like next to her mom's side, and pulls out, a little stuffed narwhal, and, says, okay, where would you put the wings? There's a lot of argument about this, but there's only one right answer. Every nurse has been wrong, and the doctors won't play.
Patience is gonna kind of like rub their chin and give this some real thought and kind of, squint and look at the narwhal, kind of move their head around and just, honestly would just probably say, because I think I actually have once when I was a kid pondered this, it is just going to give the answer that I gave as a kid. The wing should go on the horn, obviously.
No one else has ever said that! Yes! Obviously.
It just makes the most sense.
At the, like, she doesn't quite shout, but the excited, like, enthusiastic, outburst, there's another little, like, spike on the heart rate monitor, not as high as before, and it evens out a lot faster.
I want to turn to Cassandra. So what's wrong with the mom? Can we fix her?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's in the chart I just paid for with crackers?
The high price of goldfish crackers. You read the chart?
Hey, those were earmarked for Maxine.
Lucinda Miller has been admitted near the end of last week with a broken back due to slipping on the stairs. While at home.
See, most accidents happen around them. Does it say anything about
there
intended
is
treatment, prognosis?
there is a like a underlined handwritten note at the bottom that basically says like it has Annie's name, daughter Annie. Do not mention cracks, her mother's back, or try to counsel without a child, not welfare agent, but a child, like a hospital authorized child therapist.
Child psychologist, basically.
Someone trained to deal with children.
Great, so definitely not us. This is perfect.
I mean, you're above the law.
That's true. That doesn't mean we're good at this.
Yeah. It says she's undergone surgery. She's due to be discharged in probably a week. Right now it's just staying in traction, I think probably is what's needed. Like she can't move at all. So she basically just has to hang out for a while.
You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So, oh God, I I know Patience is generally good about keeping their phone on vibrate and being able to like check on. So just gonna text Patience that quick pick of the front of the chart and convince her mom will be fine and this wasn't her fault.
A very good idea, except your phone is dead.
God fucking damn it.
I think Patience is after answering the narwhal question gonna be like, how we doing on those sheets, guys? I know sometimes trying to get the fitted sheets off after
those hospital corners will get you. But I'm just about done. If you could hold this little corner while I pull the rest tight, we'll be done with all of it.
Sounds good. All right, sweetie, I'll be right back, okay? And then maybe we can also talk about whether you think dragons should have lizard wings, or personally, I think they should have really fluffy wings, like sheep.
Sheep have wings?
Absolutely.
And like she
You
picks
can
up the
see it under
plush
all the
and
wings.
just like, still one arm, like still holding onto her mom's hand, but like squeezes the narwhal close and is like, sheep wings.
I'm gonna leave David and Dip to deal with Raccoon 2. And just Patience.
Yeah, Patience is just gonna kind of dip
David is
out.
still holding both raccoons. One is just like happily shoving goldfish crackers in its mouth.
Exactly.
And like,
I'm just hold it, make sure it doesn't squirrel away again and into the child's part of the room.
Yeah, no, I'm holding him to the
containment.
corner. I'll just say at some point, David will just look at Dip, pull out the ripple gun, like, and then like puts it away.
Dip's not even paying attention to that. He's just staring at the raccoon, and he's literally like, "Raccoon, Mammalia, carnivora, ricarian family, Mammalia, North American region, omnivorous. Interesting."
Since you know so much about them, why don't you hold them for a bit? And I'm gonna hand the raccoons to Dip.
As David tries to like hand the raccoons over, and as Dip is like going through the like omnivora, like the non-goldfish raccoon, Dip's raccoon, is just like at this point just doesn't need to be held. It's just holding on with its mouth to David's tentacle arm, and it's just like looking angrily between like anyone it can see.
Okay, while the boys are playing with raccoons, I wanna, Patience seems to be doing really well with this kid, right? Better than I could probably do, unless goldfish crackers are in fact the answer to the mystery, in which case I have more. But in case it isn't goldfish crackers that will be the answer to this mystery,
your raccoon just like holds on to the ones it has, like, fiercely, absolutely. Like you're gonna take them away.
I would no, honey, I would never. But okay, so kind of what we thought. Not a proper back, probably superstition. Settle the kid down. Make sure mom knows she's gonna be okay, because kind of not a daughter thing. Settle him down, and then we slap a briefcase on him. I'm gonna keep helping with that. And I just gesture at that.
So we're gonna hit that poor child with a briefcase? What are we wait?
The kid will be fine. The anomaly that is with the kid will be.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. I don't want any mishaps.
Look,
how do we know the child's not the anomaly?
She's probably part of the anomaly. I'm assuming, with Ghostbusters, it's super popular. You suck the ectoplasm out of the kid, and then the kid stays.
Yeah, you gotta hoover the evil out. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm gonna put one note out there because I have read about the briefcase since I'm holding it. The briefcase only works when the anomaly must be exhausted, calmed, or willing. Just so we know that.
That is correct.
We clarified with Eva in chat, in between sessions.
Oh.
where we asked, do we need to detective series did, and with one hand on the door handle go, well, actually, we know exactly what we know. We have to convince the anomaly to let it go, which is when I started posting frozen gifts.
Yes,
Okay.
and my I believe my answer was essentially like knowing that I mean, you're in the domain, you know that. One of the domains. But if you can identify the focus,
Okay.
even like vaguely, that's just gonna make it a lot easier to. I guess you could accidentally calm it or exhaust it or any of those things, but
Just making sure that we
yes.
roll.
Yes.
Okay. I was just not. I was trying to cut Eve out from being like, "Aha!"
Yeah, no, those yeah, neither of those are contradictory. Those are those
That
dovetail into the end game here, which
That
we
works.
are in. Okay, so Cassandra, you have talked to patients. I'm making a quick note.
I'm willing to keep handing out goldfish crackers if the raccoon situation seems to be escalating.
Are you trying to
I'll buy
David
I'll buy
of
Maxine
the
more.
second?
I kind of no. I said if it escalates further, because I kind of like the fact that David is occupied. I don't need David with a lot of spare time.
Currently, David, you just have a raccoon accessory at this point. It is not letting go.
Yeah, I'm just like swinging it a bit.
Yeah. And it'll like do a little Scrabble. And it's like little nurse uniform will like flap around.
So cute.
The hat stays like well. It's on like a little raccoon headband or something.
Yeah.
But it just stays firmly like on your arm.
David is amused. Like, I think I'm gonna keep you as a pet.
Dip is trying to figure out why, of all things, this animal is a nurse when its skills are suited for other things.
I think after learning that information from Cassandra, Patience is gonna go back over to Annie and just kind of, resume that kind of sort of squatted down position so that they're eye level with Annie and just be like, okay, so I just had to help with that.
When you come back around the curtain, there is a little green dragon at the foot of the bed with sheep wings. Like they're just like wool, but they're what's that Pokemon?
Swablu?
I think so, where it's just like a cloud with like a bird neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the wings just kind of look like the body of Swablu. Name that Pokemon. And very cottony, and it looks like a stuffed animal. But it also just appeared out of nowhere.
Huh.
I think you're right.
Patience
I
is-
think sheep wings are probably good because they're like really comfy, right?
Absolutely. Sweetie, what happened to your cute little narwhal plushie? Where'd this little buddy come from?
Oh, I have it. It's right here. And she kind of pulls down the sheet just a little bit of her mom's bed. It's like tucked back in next to her. Like you can see the horn like sticking up out of the sheets now that she kind of points it out.
Okay, where did this one come from? Was this under the sheets too?
No. I don't know. Sometimes I look away, and sometimes there's things there, and I guess I thought you put it there. sometimes nurses bring me stuff. They say they
Well,
don't, but I think they're just being nice.
Yeah, they just, everyone just really wants to help and be kind, and that's really sweet of them. This is a really cute plushie. But listen, there's something very important I need to tell you, okay?
When you say something very important to tell her, you feel your eyes drawn to this sheep dragon, and it's very much and he looked at me. Yeah. And it's just like its little dragon eyes are staring straight at you, which is weird because they're just like the little black discs, right? But there's like a little sheen in them, and they're just like focused on you. And like the little girl's right there, but also like this is a really cute little dragon. I think you're going to need to ask the agency for assistance in resisting the lure of the dragon.
Oh boy, okay. Agency, help me. Okay, well that's a start. Let's see what else we get. All right, once again, 2 3s.
Yeah, real cute dragon, but you're able to focus back on Annie. You also get that weird vibe of like, you got the agency assistance, but there's a little more chaos that came with it than usual.
Yeah. So Patience is going to be talking to Annie, but is also talking to the anomaly when they say this next part. So they kind of switch from like crouching to kind of kneeling and just saying, it's like things can be very scary sometimes, hun. And I know it's hard, and the road of life is very long, and it seems like you'll never get there and you'll never be able to grow up. Trust me, as someone who has walked this road of life for such a long, long time, and it feels sometimes like you're going backwards, when it feels that way and you feel like you're not going to make any forward progress, you have to let go and just let the road take you where it will take you. It took me a long time to learn that, but you're a smart cookie. I mean, look at how good you were at all those tongue twisters. I'm still struggling. But, it's time. It's just, it is time. It's time to let go and just let things be. Do you get what I'm saying?
She's staring at you, and like the little well of tears kind of brimming. When you said let go the first time, on the other side of the curtain, David, I want to say I hate to do this, but I also really don't. So, go ahead and take another harm as the raccoon on your arm is jerked sharply down. And there is now a third raccoon in scrubs. Or like, no, not scrubs, the doctor like coat with the stethoscope. Kind of grabbing the legs of the first raccoon to kind of try and free it.
Okay, that's enough of that. I'm gonna. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna use my competency power expense account.
Oh god.
Where I can, and I am going to get a gigantic animal. You know those things that people put their feral cats or dogs into?
The catch 'em alive traps? Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna get like a bigger version of that. I'm gonna start stuffing all these cartoon raccoons. That's enough out of you. Get in here, stop biting me.
That is hilarious, and I love it. And this is now officially agency property and exists in your theoretical inventory. I do have to ask how either make me a roll for getting the raccoons in there, or if there is a method other than just like shoving them in there that you're using to convince them.
Honestly, it's just shoving them in there. I'm gonna. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna reach through the curtains where, cause like, give me some more of those crackers.
Cassandra, are you withholding the crackers?
You know, you should never use food as punishment.
It's not a punishment. I'm just trying to lure them into their new home. Right? You love this new home, right? I hold the cage.
The longest minute ever. If Cassandra doesn't relent, David, I need you to make me a roll.
Above David said, you see, David will remember this, and then he's gonna attempt to. I'm gonna roll. Let's see. Oh, thank God, 1-3.
Excellent.
I'm just barely surviving all of these rolls. The past couple ones.
Yes. You get them in there, and the door closes. There is now some angry chittering amongst the raccoons as two of them discover one of them has crackers. And also, that one didn't give you any trouble. That one was pretty chill.
Way to put the good one in with the bad one.
It's okay.
That was
it's
my assumption.
bonding
I just
experience.
figured you were shoving them all in there.
David's just fostering raccoon on raccoon violence at this point.
It's okay. It's a bonding experience for them. I put the cage somewhere else and I think my limbs will remain like that for like an hour if I remember.
I think unless I think you might have the choice to bring them back. I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I just like the idea of his arm now just flopped on the ground like
Yes.
just a twin flesh limbs. How's everything going in there?
Objectively pretty well. I can't just call her the little girl. Annie cries. I mean, like, the tears are now like spilling over, and she's like, but what if I do it again? I don't want to hurt my mother.
Oh, it'll be okay, sweetie. You know, it's like, take it from me. I have a very wonderful fiance. Actually, as I'm just talking about this, I forgot that was a thing I can do. They're behind the curtain. They can hear me. Can I use my other reality feature, back to the old me, where in a tense situation, I can call on a skill I haven't used since my old life? I would like to actually try to use some empathy with this child.
Yeah. What a good time to use this. Yes.
So, because the story Patience is going to say is, I have someone very important to me too, and we've been together for a very long time. And when I was younger, I also accidentally hurt them, and I felt so terrible. And I thought, oh, there's no way I'm ever going to get past this. This is so bad. I'm a bad person. But I realized with time and with talking with that cherished person that, people make mistakes, hun. It happens. We hurt each other. We hurt ourselves. But the fact that you're here and the fact that, look, you're crying, the fact that you feel that pain and that love is so important and shows that you're growing as a person. And it will be okay. It took me some time, but things are so great. And even when I forget to pick up bread because it gets eaten by, creatures that may or may not exist, in my opinion, birds exist, but we agree to disagree. It's one of life's little funs. I still make mistakes. Oh, honey, some people think birds don't exist, but trust me, they do. Where would all the feathers come from? But my point, dear, is that we all make mistakes and we cause sometimes we hurt each other, but we also apologize and make things right. And you can't hold on to that because then, you're hurting yourself. And the people you care about don't want to see you in pain. They want to see you happy and smiling and dreaming of new ways to make new winged animals. So you see what I'm trying to say? It'll be okay. You just have to, and they're just kind of really stressing this point to both Annie and the anomaly. You just have to let go. You have to just take a deep breath in and let it out. And it's kind of coaxing them, like, deep breath in and out. Woosah.
She takes the deep breath in, and why don't you go ahead and roll for your convincing.
Okay, what's the physical?
Your empathy, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. So I think when I do that, I get 1 free quality assurance. Does that mean I get 1 free 3? I always forget how these things work.
Yeah, you can use
Okay, so then because I got 1 3, but I'm gonna use that other quality assurance to make it 2 3s to cut down on the chaos.
Fine. You still get that, like... it feels... Well, no. You still get that, like, impression of, like, extra chaos, but, Annie breathes out. You're right. My mom's always sad when I get hurt or if I'm upset, and she always wants me to feel better. Like, that's true. Is there anything anyone else would like to do at this moment?
I do have a question because I wasn't watching your chaos very closely at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You said you made 3 minor anomalies in this room?
Originally.
So was the dragon a 4th?
The dragon and
or was Dr. Raccoon a 4th?
2 more were created. There's 5 total.
Minor ones.
Minor ones. So you have 3
raccoons,
medically educated
a dragon,
raccoons,
and something.
A dragon, and then something, which is
Perfect.
amplifying the chaos. I'll tell you that for free. The chaos amplification one is its own thing.
Okay.
Disruptive, excuse me. Officially, it is a disruptive minor illusion.
But apparently we're not keeping raccoons as pets, which is fair enough, because I don't think the agency likes it when you keep anomalies as pets, even though they let us keep Dip.
Your raccoon, which has at this point shoved all the crackers in its mouth so that the others can't get any, is
smart,
just
good thinking raccoon.
sitting quietly, having like brushed off the nurse uniform, and it's just staring at you with like big eyes.
Oh, don't give me that look. You ate a lot.
The other 2 are squabbling quietly to themselves.
I'm gonna put the cage at the side and I'll approach it. I'm not gonna interfere with what the others are doing. I'm just gonna be there and watch and keep a lookout for this potential final anomaly.
As you move it, as you move the cage, all 3 raccoons like turn and like hold the little bars and are now looking up.
I'll be like, oh, if only I had a heart, and I'm gonna look around because I generally don't. I'm a monster.
They shift their attention to Cassandra and Dip.
I mean, Cassandra's gonna hand out goldfish crackers. They're just so cute.
They like stick their little paws through the bars, like
I know.
little grabby hands.
I mean, technically, I'm only frustrating them because they can't wash their food, but they're gonna have to deal for a second.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, they're coping. They're fine.
more OC question because Mitch already mentioned the briefcase works after you settle down normally. Who has our briefcase at this point?
Dip does.
Beautiful.
And David has the ripple gun.
Yes, well, we already avoided David shooting the ripple gun at the raccoons, thereby bringing down the entire hospital. I do think as Patience is coaxing Annie through breathing exercises and personal growth, assuming we don't hear any more creepy beeps from Mom's heart rate monitor that indicate she's about to spring more anomalies on us, maybe this is about time that Dip, metaphorically, I cannot stress this enough, slaps the briefcase on this kid.
Are you telling Dip to do this, or?
Yes, but I was reining myself in because I was going to say, I'll use the hand signals, and that didn't go too well last time. No, we're still going to use the agency hand signals to instruct Dip. Kindly request that this is now the time.
Well, I guess Dip will slowly walk around the curtain to address Annie and Patience. And we'll just kind of walk up with the briefcase and be like, would you like to see what's in here? And he's going to open the briefcase. But first, GM, I need you to pick odd or even.
Even.
Okay. As he's opening the briefcase, he scans down it to look, and he does not see the little insignia of his name, proving that it is at least the proper agency briefcase.
Yes, extra chaos.
So he opens the briefcase, and Dip has no idea what's supposed to happen. So he's literally just like, here's the briefcase. It's now open and pointing it to Annie.
She looks confused because she doesn't really do metaphors very well at 7, and like life is an empty briefcase has no meaning to her. She kind of looks to Patience for reassurance or explanation or something. And behind you, you hear just crunching of goldfish crackers as the children eat. And from around the room, there is everything except yourselves does that fade to chalk, and it detaches from whatever it's on, kind of leaving the real world behind, as it were. So Annie turns to chalk and it drifts away from her. I guess you could just say like everything has a chalk coating that kind of pulls off of the real world, and it swirls around the room, through the curtains around you, just kind of spiraling loosely. Many colors, the bright red of the red cross on the raccoons' little hats, the blue of the raccoons' scrubs, the bold green off the dragon, which also turns to chalk. That turns to chalk completely. The narwhal also fades, and it kind of implodes quietly as it turns to chalk, and it just all swirls around before settling into a pretty hefty amount of chalk dust in the briefcase. I will say it did not appear to... It came from around. It did not come from the mother or the daughter. It was its own thing. And the briefcase just sort of snapped shut. And Annie is just like... That's a weird thing to bring when you're changing sheets, is all I'm saying.
It helps cleanse the dust.
Did you take my dragon? That's also weird.
It's my friend's no worries briefcase. You remember the breathing exercises we did? You breathe in and then you breathe out and all the worries just go right into the briefcase. Don't you feel better? I feel better.
I do, but I wasn't worried about the sheep dragon. But now I'm worried about where it went.
It's in the briefcase.
It's all right. It's in a better place.
We just needed to borrow. We need to borrow it for a bit so we can make more for other kids, so everyone can enjoy.
Okay, that makes sense. Your raccoon, Cassandra, is just like arm as far through the bars as possible. Just.
I love how the raccoons were real, but now they're not wearing nurses' uniforms anymore. They're just a little less cute.
No,
okay,
they're
so
still
really, really cute.
They're still in their little suits.
Oh.
Because like everything kind of lost its, except for you, because you weren't part of the room or anything like that. Everything had like a coating of chalk that appeared and then came off of it. The only things that disappeared with it were
Look, the thing is, I would love to keep these raccoons as pets, right? They're adorable, but I don't think Maxine would enjoy living with raccoons. We're still working on not chasing cats.
There is a slight beeping sound as Lucinda stirs a little bit on the bed, and I mean, she's hooked up to quite a few things. She was sleeping. It's not, she wasn't in a coma or anything. She was just but she stirs a little bit with all this commotion, and pulls her hand out of Annie's and kind of pats, puts her hand on top and pats Annie's hand. And what's going on? You okay? And her eyes kind of flutter open a little bit, but she's kind of in and out.
Sounds like you really kind of want to try and leave before she is not out of it anymore.
Yeah, Patience is just gonna be like, okay, we're gonna go, hun. We finished up here, and just take it easy, okay? Get some rest, ma'am. And like the most soothing voice Patience can muster, and just kind of scooches out, just like waves goodbye, and just whoop.
David retrieves the raccoon cage and leaves as well. Power walks out.
Actually, Dip is going to convince David to take the briefcase as the winning trophy to take in for his CEO ego, and then Dip's going to take the raccoons.
I'm going to stay with whoever takes the raccoons. I do not need these to turn into someone's snack.
That was
once
David's
again
plan.
heavily side-eyeing David here.
Yeah.
That's why I was going to go with stroking the CEO's ego here.
You take the briefcase, and I'm just the extra layers of raccoon security right now.
He's like,
Look at this, David. When we walk in, you can show the trophy.
but of course, I am the CEO here. Therefore, any work that all of you do, I am responsible. Great thinking, Dip. And
Yes.
David walks out.
Anything we do, you're responsible for. I'm going to write that down.
But Dip is going to
As-
carry the raccoons.
Direct quote.
that's a final demerit for me because I listened to what Dip say of all people.
Yeah.
I think that Walgreens 2 demerit because it's Dip.
You're listening to the intern.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have a question about this. Is not like a gotcha, just more of a practicality question. 3 raccoons, 3 adult raccoons.
Work with me here.
Or out of costume. You're
Work
good
with
just
me here.
powerlifting the okay, that's fine.
Oh, you mean because they'll be too heavy?
And kinda
Average
awkward.
raccoon weighs what? 15 pounds.
And the cage is manifested, so the cage doesn't weigh anything.
I don't think carrying it would be a huge issue.
It is a real
No, it's
object.
magic.
I mean, if I can carry my big ass 65-pound dog around while she's struggling, I think I could carry the.
Okay, we'll say it takes both hands, but yes, that's valid.
That works.
Okay. I think that leaves Patience in the room. Are you?
No, they scooted out first.
Okay. The last.
They did the awkward wave and leave and just
left
the rest of us.
You leave Annie no longer crying. I mean, not happy because her mom's still like in the hospital, but more at peace. Yeah. And is there anything else you wanted to do in the hospital besides the whole? I mean, you requisitioned a press release, so you're good on that front.
Corpse in hospital? Dealt with.
I'm going to just
As we leave, because I'm sure people walking through the hospital with a cage full of raccoons is not something seen every day.
No, that is going to be a confusion that.
Did I get what room number we were in, by the way? I'd like to know what room number we were in.
Yes, you were in 14D.
As we pass reception, Dip's gonna set the raccoons down and flip his name tag around.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the CEO is back.
And he is now going to say, "Hello, human hospital person. It is I again, your CEO, Robin Hastings.
Mr. Hastings? Yes.
I have been found this disturbing issue," and Dip is trying to do his best, like, commanding presence from the weak-willed. The patient in 14D is no longer going to be billed as these creatures struggling with 2 hands. We're running amok within their room. I do not abide by this, and they will be compensated to the fullest.
Oh my!
Take that record, put it down, and make it done. And then he's gonna like quickly like scurry out with the raccoons.
I love that. I'm not going to even make that a roll. That's just going to happen. You hear typing at the computer as you turn and leave. Did you take the raccoons with you?
Yes. As he's walking out the door, he's yelling, "I will dispose of these. It is okay."
You hear the typing, and then like she turns to one of the other people behind her and is just like, I've never known him to take such a hands-on approach before, but I guess he's really just a man for the patients. Like, who knew? Hey, would you call pest control? I guess we need to get them out here. Yes. You have succeeded in containing the anomaly, which is the end goal was containment. You each get 3 commendations.
3 more commendations.
Let's go. David technically did absolutely nothing.
Doesn't matter. It's
But
a
he'll
group
take
effort.
it.
That makes 14. Yeah, I've got some math to do here. So if you all want to do a little like team montage of what happens when you get back
Yeah.
to the agency.
Oh yeah, David slams the suitcase in front of their overseer. I forgot your name. And goes, mission complete.
Oh, good job. Well done. We expected nothing less. And then there is a pause. For my final tally, I need to know what the plan for the raccoons is.
I was gonna eat it, but Dip has them now.
I know you were.
Dip will be making them special intern outfits to replace their nursing ones. And is now starting the RIP program for the raccoon intern program to happen now. And they will be named RIP 1, 2, and 3.
Perfect. Excellent.
They will be freed from the cage for training. They will not maintain their life in the cage. And I'm sure they will run amok through the break room in the beginning of this program.
Do you tell anyone about this? Or are you just doing this?
No, I'm just doing it. Like, I'm assuming it's part of the intern program, and I'm just assembling them as new interns.
I've watched you carry those raccoons out, and I will absolutely be the cool PR aunt who feeds them goldfish crackers whenever she wants to. And I also assume it's part of the intern program, because the kind of shit they cook up over there, this is in line with it.
Honestly, Dip just wonders if they won't be good participants for when they go back to the Dip space program. We might need more launchies, but we'll see.
Their little astronaut suits. Okay. We will do some postscripts here in just a second. Wrap things up. Final tally of my terrible math is, Cassandra is awarded the Certificate of Most Value for performing at a level not below that of your teammates. For reckless, chaotic, and anti-agency behavior unbecoming of an employee. Oh, it's actually closer than I would have thought. Dip receives a notice of probation.
I would have thought it would be David.
Never mind, they're going to launch
Honestly,
Dip into space instead.
I was expecting it.
Very close. There were bonus objectives, which resulted in you got a demerit for each raccoon you kept.
I figured. Well, that and just
I
the fact
approve.
that like he went against all other things and stepped up on his own.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm surprised you only gave me those. I figured after everything else, I'd have been like, nope.
Yep. There were some bonus commendations for other things like your social media work, that sort of thing.
I mean, that chalk outline challenge is going crazy.
Very strong. There is no fanfare. I mean, you did your job. Good work. That was what the agency expected. Tune in tomorrow for your next job, I suppose.
Can I buy a Triangle Agency mug yet?
Yes.
Yeah, I will also purchase a mug.
Yes. I believe there are 3 commendations each. I will go through.
I can get one for each of the raccoons.
You could, yes, perfect.
Yes.
Oh my god, this is canon. Let's do a little vignette, a little fade out on each of you as you go home for the evening. I will say, She's home alone. She's hungry. Mad at being alone.
I know.
But
I know.
Maxine, there might be a bit of a mess. But Maxine is alive. In a dark house. No classical music on. No educational programming on the TV. Your nanny is absolutely dead. But
the nanny's absolutely dead. The lights, like, we have the smart lights. They should have been on a timer. We're turning something horribly wrong. So as Cassandra opens the front door to a dark house, if you're doing the overhead camera shot, you would hear the excited barking and yipping of the world's cutest corgi puppy as she comes racing towards me, wiggling that fluffy corgi butt, and I completely forget all the bad stuff that happened today, and just go turn on the lights, and I make her dinner, and I go online to order extra goldfish crackers, and ask the agency for a new nanny, and then do the thing where you wear like an hoodie and drink bad wine and put your dog on top of you like a weighted blanket and watch Below Deck, that kind of thing.
she forgives you, and I assume just licks your face.
Oh, definitely. We are that household, yes.
Yes. Let's just go around. Patience.
I'll drink my wine out of my Triangle Agency mug.
Perfect.
It's not my wine mug.
Yeah, you pass through the gift shop on your way out. The
Yeah.
requisition shop
Yeah.
on the way out.
So after having picked up more bread, new fresh bread, Patience is now home and making themselves a sandwich and sort of recounting to their fiance their day in a very highly modified sort of deal of what happened. Definitely does take a moment though to talk about how, oh yeah, I definitely started a new media trend. It's all over the place. Their fiance is definitely like, you're not cool enough to do that. And are you kidding me? I already heard about that while you were at work. Like, this was started by some teens, like over like somewhere else. That wasn't you. And for a moment, Patience is like, no, I did it. I'm cool. And they're like, nah, actually, you're right. I mean, I'm here making a sandwich. I'm too old to be getting down on the ground anyway, and just for all them chalk outlines, I'd probably pull something. So after making a sandwich, honestly, it's probably just gonna be like sitting on the couch, talking, seeing how their day went, reminding their fiance to stop interacting with the running club leader because they don't want to join. And I don't care how many, casseroles or cupcakes she keeps trying to bring over. I know they're delicious, but then you have to return the container. It's just.
But they keep
the
sending
fiance
these
just
great memes to the group chat, and it's like I can't just ignore them.
It's like, please, that's a foot in the door, and the next thing you know, I'm gonna have to go running. This body is not built for running. We're too old. And to answer the question, Patience picked up more sourdough. It's just on the counter. There was more bread. That's how they came in. They remembered.
And I will say, to put your mind at ease, they don't remember any. There's no record of them sending those texts. They're still in your phone, but no, there's no bird denial on your fiance's end.
Huh. Yeah, so I think like as they're just chilling, Patience would just say, and remember, babe, I don't like posting myself on social media, so make sure you don't put my face in any of those photos. Like, yeah, we can take photos of the sandwiches, but just I don't want to be in them. Just remember.
Yeah. I got
That's
you.
like the weird thing. Like there are photos of Patience and their fiance throughout the house, but they're all kind of odd photos where their face is not in them angled, like they're behind a plant, or there's like a menu in the way. It's all these artfully taken photos where it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, they're dating. Look, they're at this like dinner table holding hands, but the menu's in front of Patience's face.
Perfect. Dip. We heard about the raccoon internship program. I love that. Was there anything else as the day draws to a close for Dip?
No, he's probably now having to play catch up at the office and make sure mail was delivered and supplies are restocked and
So much coffee to
just
bring around.
Yep, I was gonna say making sure the coffee's still flowing for the night staff, and while doing coffee, he's probably teaching the raccoons how to handle barista duties. Because there's nothing more chaotic in my mind than raccoons working a cappuccino machine.
Yes, excellent.
And so Dip would go about doing his regular duties. We got back and it's time to go back into checklist mode, and he probably made a small little area for the raccoons to stay in the converted supply closet that Dip calls his room. And he, proudly hangs his agency name tag up above his bed and goes to sleep after setting his alarm bright and early for 4:30 to start all over again.
And David.
David will reach home, sigh to himself, feeling very proud of his very first completed mission, which he, of course, single-handedly completed, oblivious to the fact that he is more of an obstacle than anything in that entire thing. And as he reaches home, he started feeling hungry, and instinctively, he was gonna head out his window to go into the sewers to hunt like he used to. Then he remembered Triangle Agency, like, don't eat too many people, that's bad. And he's like, just looks a bit let down by that for a bit. And eventually he looks towards his TV and sees the Atari in front of it. He's gonna go put in Pac-Man, and he's gonna spend the rest of the night playing Pac-Man, indulging in watching the Pac-Man devour everything. It's like, yes, eat, do what I cannot.
I love that. Incredible. Top tier agency work. Oh, why do I always pull my headphones out of my ears? Thank you all so much for joining us for Triangle Agency and coming with us on this ridiculously delightful journey. Triangle Agency is well funded, and apparently my command isn't working. They are well funded, so we are going to be getting some amazing extras when it releases. There we go. They have 11 days left on their Kickstarter. They are over $200,000 and at some ridiculous stretch goal. I'm not even sure what. They are all amazing. You can also find more information about it at Haunted Table Games. I don't know about anyone else. I will be playing this again. I look forward to seeing the completed and fleshed out rulebook and the vault missions that will be coming. Why don't we do a quick go around briefly, because it's very late for some of us. Sorry. Anniek. So who you are and where people can find you.
Hi, my name is Anniek. You can find me on Twitter at Anniekster. And here on Sundays, or next week, we will be starting a game of sci-fi horror set in a setting called Vast Grim, which is that literally has the subtitle "Welcome to the End of Humanity." It's hopefully gonna be pretty gruesome. I'm very excited. That's it for me. I have no other plans right now because planning is evil and so are schedules.
Yes, Basil.
Hi everybody, it's Basil. I've been Patience. You can find me on Twitter at Kobanya_Kana. You can find me on Tumblr and Pillow Fort as just Kobanya. Yeah, had a lot of fun. This was great. Cannot wait for the full game to come out. And it was fun playing with everyone.
Mitch.
Hi, I'm Mitch. You can find me on Twitter at Mitch_D78. It was a blast playing with everyone here. I always feel privileged to be able to join a group and have a fun game and, get to free some raccoons while we're at it and launch anomalies into space. I pretty much spend my time hyping my friends. You can find me in chat here in Discord channels for most of the shows, and on Twitter, just running around trying to make sure everybody knows how much they're loved and how much they're appreciated. So remember, all of you out there, that we all love you.
Nick.
Hey, I'm Nick, and you can find me on social media as NickSnat1, the number 1, and occasionally on Twitch, where I stream some of the home games that I run for my Malaysian group. And as for things I'll appear in, I am currently appearing in a game for Critical Misses, which is a Thirsty Sword Lesbians campaign, called For Queen and Country, which is a queer fantasy reimagining of the Three Musketeers, we played our first session last week, which was a lot of fun. It's on Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, if you're free, come check it out. Us being queer and flirting with everyone while fighting them at the same time. You know, the usual Thirsty Sword Lesbian stuff. Yep.
I'm Eva. Hi. Bye. You can find me on Twitter at the Eva Serrate. And I'm here every Saturday on Horizon's Call, our nautical D&D 5e campaign, and then randomly whenever Anniek and I decide to be on stream together at the same time. Not next week, though. We are going to raid out to Exquisite Corpse Presents, who are still doing Pride Month games. We are going to raid into Oops, All Gender Fluid. Send love their way. They are amazing. And we will see you. Our next game here is Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be Sun Bear Trials, a honey heist game with author Aiden Thomas, Johnny Garza Villa, and Kristen Randall, and Alex Abrams, who I don't believe is an author, but run by our very own Valiant Dorian. Have a good day, you all. Take care, and we'll see you around.